Tornado warning in effect now for Mower County getting into Dodge County. Heads up in Lansing, you need to be taking shelter right at this moment. We do have radar indicated rotation with this storm that's moving out of the northwest corner of Mower County. This is north of you. If you're watching in Austin, this is to your north, so we're in the area of around Lansing where we have the area of greatest rotation with this storm. And this storm is moving pretty quickly off to the northeast. This is going to be tracking eventually into the Rochester area. We do not have a warning at this time for Olmsted County, justifiably so. These storms just getting going. This one showing the signs of rotation closest to Lansing. Once more, you need to be taking shelter in Lansing at this very moment. Getting down into the basement, getting away from windows. That's where the area of greatest rotation is located. Those of you in the northern side of Mower County, take shelter. Hayfield, please do the same. This storm is moving fairly quickly off to the northeast. So Dodge County, Mower County, that is where we have the tornado warning. And drawing out the track on this storm, we're going to get some locations for you where the most dangerous portion of the storm is headed. That's Hayfield at 137, Rockdale coming up at 151, 2 o'clock in Stewartville, and 2:08 in Rochester. So we still have some time farther downstream. But just a reminder, in Mower County, you need to be taking shelter in the Lansing area to Sargent. Lansing to Sargent, anywhere in between. That's where we're watching this. Let's take a look at the Austin Tower Cam really quick. We'll take a look at what's happening out there. We've got a view of this storm from our Austin perspective looking to the north, and this is the area of concern right there, and we're going to be keeping a very close eye on that too. Rotation within that storm. We are getting some rainfall in there. Notice it's a darker sky, but this is the rain-free base of the storm there. That's the lowering where rotation is occurring, and there's the possibility, while this is a radar indicated warning, that's the spot we're looking at very closely, right where it is unfortunately a whole lot darker there and very difficult to see, but plenty of rotation within the storm at this time. That is just north of Austin, in Austin. I'm sure you're hearing this storm, some rumbles of thunder, but the storm continues to move to the northeast. That is the rain-free base of the storm where that rotation or the potential tornado is occurring. Let's jump back to the radar picture and we'll show you what's happening now on that, and then we'll start to take a tour of what's happening big picture-wise. So while this is the storm, this is the tornado warning getting to the Dodge County, Olmsted County border. A little bit of development happening ahead of this line as well. This is basically right along a cold front that is making its way to the east fairly quickly. This is a show of severe weather that's happening this afternoon. Everything is pretty much going to be wrapped up by 4, if not 4:30, through the majority of southeast Minnesota before all these storms move a little bit farther off to the east. Let's get the velocity scope on that as well, Aiden, if we could. I've got meteorologist Aiden Sarah with me driving the radar right now. The signs of rotation, that Lansing to Sargent area, currently in that spot where the rotation is showing up on the radar picture coming out of the La Crosse NexRad, the La Crosse radar site. That's where things are moving within that storm, and that tornado warning is in effect for us until 1:45. So northwest Mower County, take shelter, that warning till 1:45. Bigger picture look now. We'll take a look at what's happening zooming out on the radar picture, and then I'm going to show you what's happening in just a moment on the temperatures across the area, how that's having an impact on our severe weather that we're seeing now, how that has forced these storms to go up, where we have a potential tornado in northwestern Mower County moving into southern Dodge County and eventually into Olmsted County. So we're going to be able to take a look at all of this now. Some of these storms farther back to the west, they are behind the cold front. There are some reports of hail up to around the size of dimes with those. So even though the cold front might pass us by, there could be a couple of thunderstorms, but this is the primary concern at this time. Once again, tornado warning for northwestern Mower County and southeastern Dodge County until 1:45. Now, okay, we've got our photographer, Brian Wise. He's on I-90 near Dexter, looking at that sky there. We might want to see if we can get him just to the north of I-90 in a little bit, just so we can get a view to the north of I-90 with what's happening with that storm. I'm not sure if Brian can hear me or not, but you guys will be able to let him know. These storms have a pretty fast motion to them. What do we have on a storm speed with these? I'm going to pull that up here in just a moment. With that tornado warning, we have storms that are moving northeast at about 45 miles per hour right now. FYI, that storm is going to be near Hayfield in just a couple of minutes. So it's already, you've got that potential of some hail in Hayfield. I know that might be a little loud and concerning, maybe even scary to the kids that are home, but we are mainly concerned not only about the hail and lightning, but the rotation that's in the storm that's coming out of the northwestern portion of Mower County, and within minutes that's going to be in the Hayfield area. So anyone that is in between Hayfield and Sargent or on Highway 56 south of Hayfield, you also need to be taking shelter at this very moment. Okay, let's take a tour, Aiden, of everything that we have on there now. Let's show the tornado watch. We have a tornado watch that's in effect until 8 p.m. this evening, but we are on the far western side of that tornado watch in southeast Minnesota and north Iowa. So the threat is going to progressively be moving east. Notice how large this tornado watch is. It stretches all the way into Wisconsin all the way toward Lake Michigan. So this is a long stretch of severe weather that is going to unfold over the course of today, but the time that we have pretty much under the gun in southeast Minnesota is just this afternoon. It's a pretty narrow window. Okay, let's keep taking a look around. I do want to show you the temperatures too, and some good news that we have. What is driving this now is a cold front that's sweeping across the area, and the temperature drop is significant. We are in the 70s in Dodge Center and Austin and Rochester, 46 already in Owatonna, and 51 in Albert Lea. And once that cold front passes you by, the potential for a tornadic storm drops off to near zero. It is very low, and that is why Steele County, Freeborn County, you are not in the tornado watch as the cold front has passed you by. And now this is also looking at data that is about 30 minutes old, so that front continues to progress, and it's already pushed into around Dodge County. Let's take a tour. Let's show you what's going on. Maybe we'll be able to show the satellite radar picture, the dew points, that rich humid air that's made its way into southeast Minnesota. This is why the instability is so high. That dew point is at 67 in Austin. And where the dew points are in the mid to upper 60s, that is also where the risk is higher. The much cooler air is off to the west. Dew points have already dropped along I-35, and even so in Mason City. That's not the kind of dew point we want if we want to see tornadoes. Nobody does, except for maybe a select few. This is that storm that's in Dodge County right now in far northwestern Mower County, and you are soon to be out of the woods through a lot of Cerro Gordo County as that cooler, drier air is coming in. This is pretty much the cold front right there where these storms are popping up. Okay, back to the tornado warning that we have in effect for Mower County and Dodge County. Numerous lightning strikes right there from Dodge Center, soon to be into Cass and Manorville on the northern side. And just a heads up, for those of you in the Dodge Center vicinity, a little farther to the north, there could also be eventually a little bit of rotation within that cell, even though there's some connection there. We have two distinct storms at this time. But putting that timeline on the storm in Waltham, you need to be taking shelter immediately if you're not already. Hayfield, please do the same. Rockdale, we're looking at a time of about 1:53. Byron at 1:59 from this storm, and we are putting the track on that portion of the storm because that is where the rotation has been detected. And there is also the potential that we could have hail up to the size, well, what have we got here within, I mean, there could be quarter-size hail. So at this time, I think we could, especially with a little more rotation in the storm, potentially see hail a little bit larger in the core of this eventually. As that storm was just getting started, the hail size is a little bit smaller. But Hayfield, you were looking at that core potential of the heavier rain and the hail moving into the Hayfield area. And then a little bit farther down to the south, that is where we have the rotation in that storm, which is getting close to Sargent right now, pretty much right on top of Waltham. Now, the velocity signature, let's take a look one more time at that. Oh yeah, let's zoom while you've got this, while you've got it. Thank you for that. The hail detection, as we look at that core, is not too far from the Hayfield area. That core making its way right into Hayfield, and it could be there. Now again, reminder that radar data is always just, could be a little bit old. That has to sweep and sweep and sweep, and as it does, that hail core is headed into the Hayfield area, if not already there. So, radar picture now, this is the primary show that we have, Dodge County, Mower County, that tornado warning. We just got an updated radar sweep right there. So let's pull the velocity signature on what's going on there. We might see that updated here in just a little bit. That area of rotation not too far from Sargent. Those of you between Hayfield and Sargent, in Hayfield, anywhere within this tornado warning, need to be taking shelter. That area of primary concern is right there on Highway 56. So south of Dodge Center, south of Hayfield, off to the northwest side of Sargent. This tornado warning in effect until 1:45 p.m. We'll see how this holds together, as here we are. There's the line for Dodge County into Olmsted County, and the tornado warning not yet for Olmsted County, but this storm is going to continue to move off to the northeast and that Rockdale area up to the southwestern side of Rochester. That is a concern as the storm keeps on rolling. Now the question mark is it going to keep holding on to its rotation as it does right now? Because we've got some additional development, as a very dynamic situation as the weather always is, some additional cells popping up ahead of the line, Stewartville down to Spring Valley. That's development that could also turn severe. Right now it is not, but some rumbles of thunder possible very soon. This is what we're watching very carefully, that southern side of the storm. But also I just want to give you a heads up that in the Dodge Center area to Cass and Manorville, things can change very quickly in that area too, just outside of the warning. Some additional development, a little additional rotation, as the atmosphere right now very dynamic. We've got the unstable air present, some strong winds aloft. We've got wind shear, which means we have winds out of the south at the surface and then aloft out of the west. Those turning winds with height are going to make these storms turn, and so far that is what we have seen with that tornado warning that we have on this storm that is making its way out of Mower County into southeastern Dodge County and eventually into Olmsted County. Right now, signs are that it has maybe lost a little bit of the rotation that we saw a little bit ago. I know you're, I don't want to multitask you too much, Aiden, but let's go to the Austin Tower Cam and maybe move that a little bit to the right. So we're looking a little bit more to the northeast with this storm. We're scanning the base right there of the storm. You can see how ominous the skies look. Now we're looking to the northeast, not seeing anything from our perspective now. That's not to say there isn't a tornado with that. We don't have any reports of any at this time, so there's good news for that. But this storm, a very potent one, and then those scary looking clouds that we've got on the leading edge, these scud clouds right there, very ominous sight just to the northeast of Austin at this time, but something we are watching very carefully. This is for that tornado warning that is in effect into the Sargent area now, moving into around Hayfield, southeastern side of Dodge County, anyone that's in between Hayfield and Rockdale, that stretch right along Highway 30 in southern Dodge County. So going back to the radar picture to show you that at this time, where we have the tornado warning and what's happening all across the area. Right now in Austin, you're more spectators than anything else. There is some development occurring along a line from just east of Austin down to the east side of Mason City. Now a severe thunderstorm warning on that storm for you in northern Dodge County. That severe thunderstorm warning is a new one from West Concord. That's a hail core right there for the storm from West Concord getting down to the northeast corner of Dodge County. That's going to be affecting Milton, Wasioja, West Concord. Wasioja right about there, all right, and that storm making its way off to the east and northeast. So a little bit farther down to the south. Heads up, that severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 2 p.m. Casson to the north. Hayfield, you're underneath the core of that where the hail is a possibility. Notice the brighter colors right there. That's high reflectivity. That's showing signs as the radar beam is bouncing back and getting more of a signal back to the site that there's something bigger in there. And for us, that's very heavy rain and hail potential right around Hayfield. The southern side of this storm now just north of Sargent. That's where we've got some rotation there. At this time, we also have all the reports turned on, and we don't have any. So that's good news. We don't have any reports. That's not to say there isn't something occurring there, but the tornado warning is in effect for about the next 7 minutes. Question marks as to how that is going to maintain, but this is the time in the Rockdale area just downstream of this tornado warning where you need to begin prepping. This is Highway 30 right there between Hayfield getting to the northwest side of Stewartville. That is an area, especially in the southeastern side of Dodge County, that is of more concern because this is the part of the storm that's going to have more rotation to it just to the east side of Waltham right now. In Waltham, you still need to be in your safe place, getting away from the storm in your basement. If you don't have a basement, as many walls between you and the outside as possible at that portion of the storm with the tornado warning on it for the next 7 minutes. Rotation has weakened somewhat within that storm at this time. I'm going to see if we have any updates from our friends at the National Weather Service in La Crosse. We do have a bunch of spotters out right now, so some good news there. emergency manager from Olmsted County, and they're in cahoots with Dodge County too, so they're all in communication with each other. We have some very dedicated storm spotters out, a lot of ham radio operators keeping their eyeballs on this storm, and at this time they have not reported anything. The Rochester Emergency Operations Center is monitoring this. We have all the spotters out in the Dodge County area, but now that hail core has increased, let's put the little query tool on that, Aiden, see what's going on with the size of the hail. So you get that question mark, pop it on there, and we've got about 1.5 inch size hail. So we're looking at possibility of what, around golf ball size hail? Yeah, roughly golf ball size hail in the hayfield area, hayfield and just to the south. And this is a radar estimation. So what the radar beam is seeing is up in the atmosphere a little bit, some 3/4 inch hail on the northern side of Dodge County. That is another concern. Some property damage is a possibility with the storm. But the tornado warning still in effect for about the next 5 minutes for us in southern Dodge County and the northern side of Mower County. I don't think we have an update on the polygon for that yet. I don't think they've adjusted that. But this is the line that we are watching very carefully, and this is going to be our show of severe weather. If you happen to catch the news yesterday when we were talking about this, or you happen to see it on mine or Aiden's Facebook accounts, we were talking about how quickly this cold front is going to be moving and how our window of severe weather is basically from around noon until 4 p.m. as the cold front is going to be stealing that severe potential. And now we have another warning that's just been issued for Goodhue County, a tornado warning in Dodge and Mower County. That storm moving quickly into the western side of Olmsted County, and that severe thunderstorm warning that's now been issued. And how long is that one for us for Twin Cities? We are looking at that severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 2:15. Okay, so storms are continuing to move off to the northeast. All right, I'm told we have Brian. He's on Highway 56 looking to the north, and near Brownsdale right now. All right, so just off to the top right of the cement truck, that's an area that we're watching. It's kind of getting difficult to see right there. Maybe we can get him into a spot soon where he can stop and take a look kind of up to the northeast of where he's at. Okay, let's get the radar a little, oh yeah, taking a look from Austin there, and pretty soon we're going to want to take a look from the downtown Rochester camera also. But you can see the rain-free base now as we're looking off to the northeast, and at this time kind of scanning around, we're not really seeing anything on the view there that is showing the indications of a tornado. However, it's not likely going to be happening there. It's going to be happening a little bit closer to where it's a lot darker. So in there where that rain coming together with the rain-free base, where that rotation is going to be a little bit more concentrated, but that is to the northeast of downtown. All right, and we are looking down to the southwest of downtown Rochester currently. And actually, Gil, could you hand me our iPad? I want to take a look and have a look at radar myself over here too. All right, thank you so much. All right, let's move that camera a little bit, Aiden, to the north. So turn it to the right. We'll scan a little bit that way. Notice we're getting a little sunshine off in the distance right there. So we're watching the southern end of that storm, and we're going to keep a very close eye on that portion of it too. But all right, so it's a little bit darker. Now we can go back to the left a little bit more. I just want to let you know we're keeping an eye on every possible scenario here, trying to make sure that we're keeping a close eye on the storm as it continues to move through, and it is moving fairly quickly. So into the western side of Olmsted County very soon is where that cell is going. At this time, pulling up a little bit of data myself just to take a look. We're not getting a real strong velocity signature on that cell anymore, but let's take a look at the radar picture just to be safe here, so I get you the very latest on that warning, which is in effect for the next couple of minutes. The storm's still very strong, but right now it's posing primarily a large hail threat for us on the southeastern side, right basically on and to the north of Highway 30. That's going to be south of Casson, getting to the far southeastern side of Dodge County, and that's the core moving off to the east and northeast. That will soon be into, I mean, you're getting the rumbles, the heavy rain, maybe a little bit of hail in Casson to Byron, but in Casson and Byron, while you are very close to the polygon now, that southern side of the storm is where we have the greatest potential for a little bit of rotation. Now moving off to the east into the Rochester area. Now we're looking at the core, the hail core, not the beginning of the rainfall. Now when we show these storm tracks, we're showing the track of some of the more dangerous portions of the storm, not necessarily the front of it. So you are already getting that rain in Byron and in Casson, but you're not getting the most dangerous portion of the storm yet. Still, yes, the lightning is going to be a dangerous aspect of it. There could be some gusty winds, but we're tracking the core of these storms. All right, now they've issued a severe thunderstorm warning. It looks like that's going to replace the tornado warning. So we now have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Olmsted County. And that storm has started to perk up as far as the reflectivity goes to it and the potential size of the hail. Let's, yeah, this is going to include Rochester. This includes Stewartville.
That's observed hail.
And it's what?
That's observed hail too.
Okay, yeah, we have observed hail at 1.5 inches. So we've got some reports coming in of that. Yeah, we got some reports coming out now of Hayfield. 1 inch hail, so quarter size hail there. And off to the west side of Hayfield. All right, so 2 reports in Hayfield of 1 inch hail. I wouldn't be surprised right now between Hayfield and Rockdale that we might even have hail that could be a little bit larger. So around Vernon, the Vernon Township. This is going to be moving into Rockdale soon, but in the Vernon area right now, for those of you who are in that area, you're very familiar with it. Southeastern Dodge County hail of 1 1/4, so a little bit bigger than quarters is possible now on the southeast side of Dodge County, and that's going to be one of our main concerns with the storm moving into Olmsted County. At this time, it doesn't look like there has been enough in the way of rotation to warrant that tornado warning continuing. And actually, they have let the tornado warning expire. Now that this is moving into a more populated area, we are going to stay with this warning, though, for now. The severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 2:30, so we got about the next 45 minutes. We're going to be watching all of this very carefully as it does move into the Rochester area. This is in the eastern side of Dodge County. Casson, it's very heavy rain, maybe a little hail potential. It's possible. At this time, I wouldn't guess any more than around pea to dime size hail. But then that Vernon Township area making its way into the western side of Olmsted County, that's where it could be just a little bit larger. Let's zoom out a little bit here. Severe thunderstorm warnings now in effect for Goodhue County. That one is until 2:15. We have the Olmsted County warning. That is until 2:30. All of this is moving fairly quickly, a very dynamic atmosphere. Maybe this isn't directly along the cold front, but more than likely it pretty much is at this point. And there is still a lot of instability just behind it, but not the kind that's going to be able to spawn any tornadoes. And we do have that tornado watch that's in effect until 8 p.m. This is our short window for about the next hour and a half to 2 hours across southern Minnesota. But this is for us. This line that's developing right here, maybe a couple of thunder showers developing behind it. But this is where we have that higher threat of severe storms. That tornado warning has been let to expire in Dodge County and Mower County. We don't have any reports of funnel clouds with that, and as far as I know, we haven't had any come our direction. By the way, everyone in the booth, I haven't been able to keep an eye on email or anything like that, but if you have seen anything, any photos coming in, or if you have seen large hail, hail period, had anything that looks like a funnel cloud, send us an email, send us that photo, weather@kaaltv.com. You can also send that, you can upload it on our website, kaaltv.com. Now from the Rochester perspective, looking off to the southwest, you can see the tower right there, and look how crisp that is. This is an impressive shot of a very large thunderstorm moving into the western side of Olmsted County. Tower development right there, even a little bit of sunshine off in the distance. And then there's a little bit of rain-free base right there. And where it is so dark, now this is where that heavier rain and potential hail is coming in. That is pretty much directly west of Rochester at this time. So this is going to be a pretty fast-moving cold front that's moving through, and that hail core, just taking a look at the very latest radar picture too, this has got some impressive qualities to it as far as how large the hail could be. And the line is extending a little bit, so we'll keep it on that for now. South of Austin, that line into parts of North Iowa, and that's extending all the way now into Olmsted County. This is where we're focusing because we do have a severe thunderstorm warning with this storm coming out of Dodge County into the Rochester area, Stewartville. Hail size, we just got a report of 1 inch hail. All right, that's showing up for Hayfield. That's the one I was talking about just moments ago. We don't have any fresh reports coming out from that core at this moment, but that's going to be Rockdale into the north to around Byron into the south. So near Byron is where we are going to have hail potential very soon. And that is also a concern in Rochester. So Rochester, it's going to be raining here in moments, Just FYI, if your car is parked outside on the driveway and you have room in your garage, you're probably going to want to get your car inside and get it in the garage as soon as you can, because it's not going to be very long until that storm is into the more populated areas of Olmsted County. That is coming out of Dodge County into Olmsted County soon. Looks like we got another report of hail. All right, so 1-inch hail reported in the Casson area. Got a report there from Casson. So in the Byron area, Byron, Summerby, a little bit to the north there, could have some potentially large hail up to the size of around 3/4 of an inch to an inch. That's enough to do a little bit of damage. That time of the report was at 1:45, so that was just a few minutes ago. And the core now is still right along the Dodge County, Olmsted County border, and this is moving off to the east. So this is the biggest storm that we have right now in that line. A little bit farther to the north for our friends in Zumbrota, we don't have any reports of hail coming out of this one, showing a signature that is of a little bit of concern, but I think the inflow for this storm is going to be cut off by what's going on a little bit farther to the south, but not out of the question. There could be a little bit of rotation with that storm that's off to the southwest of Zumbrota, to the west of Pine Island. It's still going to be well to the west of, probably about 4 or 5 miles to the west of Pine Island and 5-6 miles to the southwest of Zumbrota. But that's where we have a potential hail core just to the northwest of Zumbrota, basically right along Highway 52 as that storm continues to push through. Yeah, let's take a look at that, zooming in a little bit tighter on how large the hail is. We do have reports that have already come in of around 1-inch size hail, and that is just now making its way into Olmsted County, and we have hail also just off to the northwest of Pine Island. And these storms are moving off to the northeast pretty quickly. Our pace right now is 45 miles per hour. Aiden, I'll let you drive the bus. Let's take a tour of everything that's going on right now, from the watches to some tower cams, and see what's going on. So we got a report of something.
Yeah, we actually just got a viewer sent in hailstone pictures, so I'm back in production.
Okay, so we got some photos coming in, folks in production. We have some photos of some hail that's been seen out there. The hail core out of that storm in the western side of Olmsted County continues to make its way into the Rochester area. Another severe storm up around Zumbrota. Okay, so let's get the big picture. Let's show everything in motion. We'll show what's going on with the cold front as of late, and also take a look at some of the tower cams. So show me whatever you'd like to show me there. Goodhue County now into Olmsted County, and the line of storms extending all the way into around Floyd County and Mitchell County. This is moving to the east, and notice we don't have much happening behind it. That's our cold front, and that is going to continue to progress quickly off to the east. These stronger storms now developing right in southeast Minnesota, Dodge County into Olmsted County and Goodhue County. It's going to be nearing Wabasha County. This cell that we do have in Olmsted County, downstream, that's going to be getting closer to around Mazeppa. So a heads up, Mazeppa, Plainview, Elgin, Millville, that's going to be coming your direction too. The line of cells does extend all the way down into Mitchell County at this time. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Dodge County and Olmsted County. This is a fast-moving line, and this is the window. We are in it right now for about the next hour in southeast Minnesota, where there are going to be some severe storms there. Tornado watch until 8 p.m., and notice you're not in that in Steele County. You're not in it in Freeborn County. All right, we got sirens sounding right now. Sirens are sounding for the severe storm that is going to be coming into the Rochester area. So if you're just tuning in at this time because you're hearing the sirens, it is because of the threat of hail as that storm is tracking directly into the Rochester area. Currently, the largest hail potential is directly between Byron and Rockdale. This storm, big one, got some supercellular characteristics to it, some rotation, but not enough to prompt a tornado warning, but that rotation is what's actually leading to the hail that we have. Let's go back to the Broadway Tower Cam, and I want you to zoom in on that rain-free base, okay? Let's zoom in please, let's get down there. All right, we're seeing something that does look like a possible tornado. All right, we have a possible tornado with that storm. We've got it right now on our camera. I want you to, all right, go down a little bit farther. I also, let's see, I'm going to let Lacrosse know right now. We're seeing a tornado on our tower cam right now. Okay, that's it. We've got a tornado right on the camera. Let's try to get, don't switch over to the radar view. But let's see if you can pin the spot down. We have a tornado. This is off to the west side of Rochester. way more concerning now than what we were seeing just a little bit ago, but let's try to pinpoint that location by radar, okay? So we have, gosh, the radar is not doing us any favors right now with where that is. Just a heads up, in the Rockdale to Byron area, anyone on the southwestern side of Rochester, we are seeing a tornado at this very moment. There it is. This is the wall cloud right there. So we've got rotation within the storm, and by all we can tell, and now this is showing a little bit of debris picking up right there. Tornado on the ground just off to the west of Rochester. Let's see if we can do as good as we can on trying to pinpoint exactly where that might be. It is not into Rochester proper quite yet, but we do have a tornado that is off to the west-southwest of Rochester. A little bit of a wall cloud right there. All right, so this is confirmed tornado. We are looking at it right now. Southwest Rochester, you need to be taking shelter at this very moment. All right, and okay, Aiden's, we got to make sure that we've got Aiden's mic on too. So it looks like it's where?
Still southwest of Rockdale is where the most rotation is currently taking place, as far as radar, as far as we could tell on radar. So,
okay.
Yeah, we're looking at, oh, geez, I'm going to try to get an exact. It is about, this signature for velocity is about 4 or 5 miles southwest of Rockdale. We're at about 6.
Okay. Anyone on the southwestern side of Rochester, you need to be taking shelter right now. If you're in the Hart Farms area, Hart Farms down to about the Rochester Airport, and then especially just off to the west of the Rochester Airport, please be taking shelter at this very moment. Tornado is, we have a tornado. So see that's contact. We've got the funnel cloud right there. It has varied a little bit over about the last 10 minutes or so. I'm losing track of time right now. So yes, tornado verified. We are seeing that. We're going to keep a very close eye on that. And of course, anyone on the southwestern side of Rochester, southern side of Rochester, from the airport up to Highway 14, just for safety's sake, make sure you are taking shelter. Obviously, this tornado is not taking up that much space, but you need to make sure you are in your basement at this time. All right, I'm just double checking any other,
For road context, this is south of Minnesota Highway 30.
Okay.
And just to the southwest of Rockdale, so south of Minnesota Highway 30.
South of Highway 30. And actually, Gil, if you could maybe maneuver the Cascade Tower cam a little bit, see if we can get a view from our Cascade Tower cam, and we can get that on the scan computer. But we do have a tornado at this time. This is in Olmsted County to Dodge County, close to the line, south of Highway 30. Look at how this has changed a little bit here, getting a little bit of debris on this. Let's switch back to the radar picture really quick. I don't want to lose the visual, but I also want to make sure that we are keeping a good track on this storm. Tornado warning is now in effect, as it should be. It looks like we have 2 tornadoes in progress as well. Now, yes, I think we are seeing both of them on the camera. This storm, getting rotation within this storm, getting into the southwestern side of Olmsted County, that's going to be moving off to the northeast. Now let's switch back to the tower cams. Let's see if we can see where the other one is too. We're just getting a report from the National Weather Service that we could have a couple distinct areas of rotation. We are seeing this one very clearly. Now we're getting a little bit inhibited by the rainfall with this, but notice that lowering right there. That's the wall cloud. All right, and I just want to make sure I'm getting a view of it too. Yes, we still have tornado. We still have debris that's right there. Now that could be dirt, that could be through a field. It is impossible for us to know exactly where that is, but we do, just on the southwestern side of Olmsted County, have a tornado. All right, and let's see if we have any other perspectives on our cameras there. Tornado warning that is in effect, that goes through the southern side of Rochester, that goes through the airport, so they have just put out that tornado warning. Let's switch over. We're not going to get this on max, okay? We're not going to get this on max, but we might be able to pull up the scan computer. Let's go back to the downtown Broadway camera, and then let's see if folks in production, if you could pull up whatever's going on the scan computer. Let's make sure that the scan computer is set to Cascade, and then you guys can pull it up over there if we've got a good view of it. We're starting to get a little bit of lower visibility here, but still can confirm that there is a tornado on the ground, and that tornado warning is in effect for southern Olmsted County, south side of Rochester, And there
Looks like
might
it's
be our second one.
right
All right,
about
there's our
there.
second one right there. So we've got 2 tornadoes on the ground off to the southwest of the Rochester area. And, oh man, you need to be taking shelter right now, southwestern Olmsted County, all right?
Yes.
Not southwestern side of not just Olmsted County, southwestern side of Rochester. High Forest, please take shelter. Stewartville, take shelter from this. It is looking like this is mainly off to your west, maybe north or west northwest from Stewartville. Okay, we have Cascade up. I don't know that we're really seeing so much on the Cascade camera at this time.
No, not really anymore.
We're not really, yeah, the rain has just been too
Rain
much.
shrouded.
All right, go back to Broadway. Let's show you what, or actually, no, radar is good for now. Radar is good for
Okay.
now. So there's this cell moving into southwestern Olmsted County. And right in this portion of the storm, okay, we're moving a little bit.
Sorry
Let's
about
zoom in.
that.
That's all right, that's all right. In this portion of the storm, okay, let's go look at, we've got someone else here. We might have a tornado view. Okay, we certainly do. All right, give me a location on that, please. I need as precise a location as you can give me. We have a tornado also visible here from, and I'm not sure who was out, but I need okay, as precise as possible as we can get on a location. That is an amazing view. We do have tornado. He is just west of Hayfield, and what direction is he looking? Is he looking to the east? I'm thinking it's to the east. He is looking directly to the east, so we have another perspective on it. Now, I want him to move. I want him to get a little bit farther east and keep a close eye on that, but we have a still shot right now of that tornado. Okay, we need to go back to the radar picture so I can summarize the tornado warning for you. There's the storm, the tornado warning, going through the southern side of the Rochester area, down to Stewartville, and then back to about Rockdale. Rockdale, you have to be taking shelter right now in and around that area. And this storm, where there is rotation, continues to track off to the east. Now, this is what we've been concerned about, is how quickly these would get strong, how quickly we might have the development of any tornadoes. Let's take a look again. Let's go back to the Broadway Plaza Tower cam and show you what our view looks like there. We are going to be, okay, I got a report of some pea-size hail in Rochester. It's 37th. All right, we're losing visibility on that just due to the amount of heavy rain that we're looking at. We're going to keep looking around and see what we can find. But we verified 2 tornadoes on the ground, southwestern Olmsted County. By definition, a tornado is on the ground, but I just say that as a reminder to everybody, this is not just a funnel cloud. This is a tornado. They're verified. We've seen them. We have a couple of them out there now. If we still have Brian, if he's not on the move and we have a view, please let me know. Otherwise, he's, all right. We have a tornado warning in effect. What's the time on that, Aiden?
It is until, I'm pulling it up here so everybody can see it on the screen in just a second once the computer's done thinking.
Okay.
All right, it is until 2:45
Till
p.m.
2:45. Heads up in Stewartville, too. We still have signs that there could be. This is a very dynamic storm. It's changing. There is a tornado, a couple of tornadoes in different locations with this storm. Let's pull the velocity scope on this.
Yep.
Okay, just show me that. All right, we've got the tornado right now from the MnDOT camera. Which one are we looking at there? Highway 63 south of 80th Street. It actually looks a little bit like we're looking over the Rochester Airport. Yes. We are looking directly over the Rochester Airport. So yes, getting into the southwest side of Rochester, tornado. We've had numerous tornadoes actually. If you guys can take a moment and please put me over the camera. If you could get me chroma keyed over this, please. Can you do that? Let me know if you're able to. That way I can point out what's going on here. There's tornado, debris on the ground right there. There is one thing that is called the bear cage right there. You see that's becoming rain wrapped a little bit there. And there is also the wall cloud right there, rotation within that storm. This is looking off to, it's looking over the airport from 63, so we're looking to the west there. Live view 1, we're going to go to live view 1. Let's do that right now. You guys just throw it to it. You guys threw it to it. This is east of Oslo, okay? Look at that. So we've got a rope tornado. Not sure if it's the same one, not sure if it's a different one. We have numerous tornadoes right now, at least 2 at the same time that have been occurring. So he is just east of Oslo. So Brian is on Highway 30 if he's east of Oslo. On Highway 30, so if you've been driving through southern Olmsted County, Dodge County, you're very familiar with this stretch. that goes from around Hayfield to Oslo over to the Stewartville area just south of the Rochester airport. Our sirens are still going off. We have a tornado that is located near Oslo. Now, is Brian looking down to the south of Highway 30 here, or is he looking to the north of Highway 30? We're going to find that out for you. We're looking south of Highway 30. Okay, back to the radar picture for just a moment so I can show you what's going on here. We want to keep our visuals too. This is the area of most concern. Let's get the velocity scope on that right now, see what we can show you. This might be a couple minutes old. We're not getting a whole lot of help from the velocity scope on this right now. Some of these spots where it's coming together, all of this is very close to Highway 30. Go back to just the regular reflectivity view. We could also have some twist, and since we earlier did have a tornado a little bit farther to the north, those of you in southwest Rochester, please take shelter right now. Just for safety's sake, there could also be some other embedded rotation within this storm. Let's go back to Brian's view, show you what's happening. He's near Oslo. That's Highway 30. We still have a visual on the funnel right there. Okay, so he's going to keep moving off to the east, and I'm kind of in the way. I'm trying to get out of the way. Let's hold with him until he gets past this line of trees, and then we're going to see that again. Okay. Southwestern Olmsted County now. Just a heads up, yeah, we're going to be getting some heavy rain, possible hail in Rochester soon, which makes sense considering we still have that tornado. Yeah, we're getting hail just outside of the station. If you guys could give me, someone here could just let us know how big that is too. That is quite the visual. All right, law enforcement out, spotters are out. Let's send Brian a little bit farther off to the east. We're getting some sunlight on that funnel right now, so we do have a tornado. This one is, I want to see if we can get him to a spot where we don't have anything inhibiting the view of the ground. So just want to confirm that we most likely do. In its rope phase, this tornado could be beginning to fall apart. So he's heading east, and it does look like it is doing that. We've seen that so many times when a tornado is finally starting to fall apart. It ropes out, but there is still a tornado, and likely, yeah, there's likely still a tornado that's touching down. All right. We have some hail. It's about the size, a little bit bigger than dimes. So that's what we've got right there. Now I'm getting out of the light.
We have another tornado warning in North Iowa.
All right. We have another tornado warning in North Iowa. My goodness, this whole day. Yeah, all right. There's still a lot. Look at that right there. So now this is a good view that we have. So we've got debris, whatever this is picking up, whatever dirt that we have now, whatever that this tornado has happened to be hitting. So what's... how far away do you think Brian is now from, let's say, the airport? All right, but tornado now, we're looking at that. Southwest side of Rochester, you do need to be taking shelters, southwest Rochester. We've got reports north of Dexter. We've seen some pictures there. Let's take a look at that other warning. Okay, we still have that tornado warning for the southern side of Olmsted County. Everybody from Stewartville, Highway 30 area, all the way up to the southwest side of Rochester, Southern Hills, Hart Farms, all the way over to south on Highway 63, south of Highway 52, taking shelter there where Highway 52 has that east-west jog. This tornado, yeah, we're still getting debris right there. Still can confirm we do have a tornado. It's a little bit darker right there, so he's in a spot where he's able to see that. He's coming up on, looks like County Road 15, so he's moving there. Yes, can confirm. All right, we'd also need to get to some other tornado warnings, so not leaving anyone out, but we've got a busy day. St. Ansgar, you need to be taking shelter right now, by the way. St. Ansgar, moving off.
McIntyre.
Yep, St. Ansgar, Stacyville, McIntyre. Go to radar, please. Actually, let's go to radar, and then you guys work on whatever other views that you have that you're able to throw back there. Stacyville, we've got rotation just off to your west and southwest. More dangerous portion of the storm has just now been moving off to the east of St. Ansgar, McIntyre, Leroy, and Ostrander. Okay, heads up McIntyre, Stacyville. This tornado warning in effect until 2:45.
Yes, 2:45 p.m.
Let's go back to that traffic cam, guys. We still have the tornado, as we can see from Highway 63. It is roping out a little bit from this perspective too. Still have a tornado. That is southwest, getting to near the Rochester city limits at this time. It is very difficult to pinpoint exactly where that is, but let's, all right, we got a little bit more help now from the, yeah, it is basically between the airport and Rockdale.
Yep.
And we have a hail report now coming in about quarter size. We have hail here that's around nickel size. Okay, back to the radar picture. We're kind of losing that one there. And by the way, let me know if you see anything on the Broadway Plaza camera. It looks like we're kind of all stuck in the rain with that too.
Rain and hail.
Right about here. This location is where we have seen that tornado. We're losing that funnel a little bit. New area of rotation just west of Stewartville. So we're getting a new area of rotation just west of Stewartville. Need to be taking shelter in Stewartville as well. All areas around Stewartville to High Forest Township as that storm continues to move off to the east. Let's switch over to the reflectivity picture here to show that to you. Yeah, right there. We're getting that little indentation now off to the west of Stewartville. Rotation there. Heads up that that's moving off to the east. Those of you in Stewartville need to be taking shelter, as well as High Forest. Pleasant Valley, wouldn't hurt. Doesn't look like you're in that area of rotation right now. But we have a very dynamic atmosphere. Things are changing. New areas of rotation are showing up in this storm. There will also be hail. And right now, while this is really loud in the Rochester area, those of you in central to northern Rochester, hail and heavy rain, the #1 concern. Size of hail right there. By the way, you guys stay in my ear back there and let me know if you see anything new popping up. I am looking at some rotation making its way pretty close to the Rochester airport at this time, but the hail so far not getting up to around 1 inch, staying at around 3/4 of an inch, but we have a decent amount of it happening right here. All right, zoom in on the tornado warning that we have for Olmsted County. We have reports of the funnel cloud. We've seen it. That's what's showing up right there. That is not where the tornado is located at this time. Most likely area that we'll see fresh development is moving into the Stewartville area. So Stewartville, take shelter right now. Rotation possible right there. But we've also got areas of rotation from Highway 30 all the way up to around Highway 52 and the Highway 63 interchange, even a little bit farther to the north. So getting up not too far from where Highway 14 is, and then we're looking at Salem Road right there. Okay, so West Circle Drive, you're on the northern side, and Highway 14, you're on the far northern side of that tornado warning. Areas of concern right now, just east of Rockdale, we might have some new rotation there, and also just west of Stewartville. Go back to the reflectivity. This thing is just moving so fast for us right now. It is even, okay. Tornado warning till 2:45. Still getting that view right there, nearing Highway 63. On Highway 63, so on Broadway, anywhere between Highway 52 all the way down to the airport, all the way down to Stewartville, there's the potential that we could have something undetected there. We have had tornadoes previously, and we could still. But it's getting to that point where it's getting very difficult to see any possible tornadoes in this mess. Tornado warning till 2:45 extends all the way to Marion and a little bit farther to the east, not too far from Potsdam. I'm sorry, not Potsdam. Potsdam's farther to the north. It's busy around Chester Woods up there. Okay, we're tracking the most dangerous portion of the storm now, where there is rotation occurring near the airport, north of Stewartville, moving off to the east. Marion at 224, Iota 234, if this holds together, with this very large cell that has a history of producing tornadoes, and we may still have a tornado with it. Right along this line. Let's take a look at our Iowa tornado warning as well. We're going to zoom a little bit farther down to the south, take a peek there. Tornado warning remains in effect until 2:45. Stacyville, just a little bit farther down to the south, right on Highway 218, so just straight east of St. Ansgar before 218 takes a southerly jog. So this area straight south of Stacyville, moving off to the east. It does look like it's going to stay just to the north of Riceville. We are getting rotation showing up right in Stacyville. You need to be taking shelter at this very moment, and also right along this bend, that southerly turn on Highway 218 that's straight east of St. Ansgar. So as 218 jogs south, that is an area of concern, and right in Stacyville is an area of concern. Tornado watch is in effect until 8 p.m. here for us tonight. There is a whole lot going on right now. Tornado watch for us from southeast Minnesota off to the east. Rotation just because of how dynamic the atmosphere is, how much wind shear we have. Let's go back to the radar picture, unless there's nothing else we can take a look at right now.
No, tower cams are pretty visibility. You can't see anything outside of Cascade, and nothing really to see on Broadway except the rain and the hail.
Okay. Okay, regrouping a little bit. A lot of activity that's been out there so far. Tornado warnings now in effect for us in, now this one does extend into the far southeastern side of Mower County. So this is, okay, let's zoom in a little bit tighter on this southern tornado warning. That is in effect for Mitchell and Mower County. And this is a fast moving storm from Stacyville. Not too far from Leroy and a little bit farther off to the west of there. It looks like the greatest area of rotation so far is staying in Mitchell County. Not out of the question we could have something going on in Mower County. That warning's in effect till 2:45. Tornado warning farther up to the north will go up to Olmsted County. This is now entirely for Olmsted County. Areas of rotation continue. Now, did they just have, it's a severe thunderstorm warning it looks like they have there, not an additional tornado warning. Okay, we've got areas of rotation all the way from Highway 52 and 63 down to the Stewartville area. Let's go to Robin. She is outside right now. Robin, what are you seeing?
Yeah, Randy, not so much right now, but listen, it's so interesting because it was June 24th of last year that I was standing in this exact place announcing a tornado warning with these sirens. As you know, we just had this in our severe weather coverage. And what we're seeing right now, these clouds over here are clearing up. The rain is still coming down pretty steady. Occasionally we'll see something that looks like it's trying to dip down from the sky, but nothing here yet. And when it happened June 24th of last year, there was a sighting just northwest of Mankato of a tornado, but it wasn't confirmed. It didn't touch down. So we've been walking the building, walking around. We're standing here making sure that, you know, if we see anything, we're going to give you a heads up and let you know what's going on. A little bit of hail right now. You saw earlier, we brought some into you. It was really small pea size and it kind of kept getting bigger. Some were really flat, some were perfectly round. Right now it's coming down, but not nearly as heavy as it was before, Randy.
All right, Robin, thank you so much. We just have, there's a lot going on, and at this time it's getting more difficult to track. No more visuals are left on tornadoes. The storm is here. It's raining very heavily. There are areas of hail. There are still some signs of rotation on the velocity signature. They're not as strong as they were before, so we still have a setup. And Aiden is highlighting that right now, still on the southwestern side of Rochester, all the way to the western side of Stewartville. Nothing that's really tight with rotation on the velocity signature now, but this is the area where there could be those embedded areas of rotation with some tornadoes. But now we don't have that rain-free look like we did before when Brian had his video on Highway 30. So we have video. Let's go back. We have video of the tornado in Hayfield. Is this video from earlier? Okay, this is what we've seen. This, okay. All right, yeah, that's a little bit more tricky to see, but yeah, we can see it. Okay, now I'm seeing it on the video too, that as it was a little bit, as it was roping out a little bit. So we have a good view on that. Confirmed tornadoes within the storm, and now we have another tornado warning. This is for Osage, just east of Osage. Those of you near Osage, Chickasaw, Floyd, Howard, Mitchell counties, heads up in Elma. This coming your direction, strong rotation detected in this one, and they have put out a huge tornado warning for this storm until 3 p.m. Aiden's got the storm track on that greatest area of rotation. Elma, Saratoga, Lime Springs, Cresco, and Ridgeway. You are in line for this one. Elma at 238, Saratoga 244, 256 in Lime Springs. Tornado warning until 3 p.m. That's for Chickasaw, Floyd, Howard, and Mitchell counties. That's going to be moving into what looks like maybe the southern side of Howard County soon enough. Saratoga and Lime Springs and Elma. Far northern side of, let's see, we've got Mitchell County, northern Floyd County, getting into far northern Chickasaw County and making its way into Howard County very soon. On the velocity signature there, we're not getting a whole lot of help, but that's the area that is of most concern. That's just off to the east of Osage, making its way off to the east-northeast. So that tornado warning in effect for about the next 45 minutes
I want to zoom back up to the tornado warning in Stewartville. They're saying that there very well could be a tornado on the ground. I'm going to turn on velocity.
All right, why don't you guys just go straight to Aiden for a little while? I don't know if you're able to pull him up on camera 4 as well. Aiden, why don't you drive the bus for a little bit?
Let's give Randy a rest here. So right now, one of the things that I've been looking at, or that we just saw from a message from the National Weather Service, there's actually 2 areas that I want to focus on right now. They're mentioning that there is a area of rotation near Grand Meadow right now that's beginning to tighten a little bit, so I would not be shocked if we see a tornado warning issued somewhere near Grand Meadow here in the immediate future. But they're also noting that there's an area of rotation right now really tightening up in Stewartville, so I'm going to show that here in just a second. We can see this area of rotation right about here, pretty much right over Stewartville right now, as far as I can tell. So if you are in the Stewartville area, even in the Pleasant Grove, you need to be taking shelter immediately. This could very well be producing a tornado right now, or it could very soon. I'm just trying to think of, I don't think we have a lot debris signature on the immediate palette here. I'll try to look for that here in a minute. But yeah, we're definitely seeing an area of rotation right now, right over Stewartville. I wish I could show you outside of our tower cam, but here in Rochester, but unfortunately the rain is clouding our view right now, so we're not able to see much. But for folks in Stewartville, Pleasant Grove, you need to be taking shelter right now if you haven't already, because there is the chance that any second now a tornado could touch down. We saw earlier how quickly those tornadoes, those small tornadoes closer to Rockdale, touched the ground. We could easily see that happen again here, so that's just definitely something to keep in mind. This tornado warning still in effect until 2:45. We're looking at hail along with this at around 2 inches in diameter. So if you're not seeing a tornado, you are seeing very large hail right now. I would want to take a wider look at things just to make sure we have everything covered here. We do still have that tornado warning it looks like we might have another, that looks like it's the same as before. We have another tornado warning, or 2 other tornado warnings right now in northern Iowa, far southeastern southern Mower County as well. Those are, we don't really have any confirmation on those tornadoes right now, and one of the difficulties about tornadoes in this part of our viewing area is you're so far away from the radar that you just can't really pick up on them. So I'm looking at National Weather Service chat right now. They're saying a likely tornado on the ground near I-90 northeast of Stewartville.
Northeast of Stewartville and approaching Simpson. Heads up in Simpson, you need to be taking shelter right now. So this is directly south of Rochester. We have a likely tornado on the ground that is just basically, so Simpson's almost right on I-90.
Oh, yeah,
this spot right here. So just to the northeast of Stewartville, this is riding right along I-90. So where we have Highway 63, then there's going to be County Road 1 coming down right into Simpson and along I-90. So very close to this right here. In Simpson, you need to be taking shelter. More than likely, this is a tornado considering what we have seen already and what is happening now. It's just getting more difficult to see this. We don't have a perspective that's near Simpson. So there we have it, County Road 1 right there, and Stewartville just off to the south there. And Simpson, you are either, there's a tornado very close to you or coming into your area right now. Hard to say if it is right there, but just a heads up, if you are in or around the Simpson area, you need to be taking shelter at this very moment. Signs of rotation also directly east of Stewartville. We also have signs of tightening rotation near Grand Meadow. That's in eastern Mower County, for those of you not familiar, but Grand Meadow, you need to be taking shelter.
Zoom down there
this
right
is a
now.
concerning spot right now into the Simpson area, south side of Rochester. We have had, if you are just tuning in, we've had numerous confirmed tornadoes on the western side of Olmsted County, southwestern Olmsted County, getting very close to the airport, getting very close to the southwest side of Rochester. East of Grand Meadow now, this is where we have rotation showing up. So this is Highway 63 getting to 16. So Racine getting to that intersection right by Four Daughters and then going into the Spring Valley areas. So heads up, anywhere right around there, we've got rotation. You're on the south side of the cell. It is near and to the east of Grand Meadow. Possible tornado in this location. just at this intersection of 63 and 16, and if you are anywhere around, say, 4 or 5 miles of that intersection, up to Racine as well. Racine, you're no stranger to tornadoes. Just recently have had one. Got the tornado sirens going off again. Let's take a look again at what's going on in Olmsted County. We have a fresh tornado warning that extends from Highway 30, very near Highway 30. Right now, most dangerous portion of this is near Simpson. You need to be taking shelter, and that is up even north of Highway 52. This is the stretch where Highway 52 is going east-west for the most part. Highway 63 and 52 there, and that warning extends all the way up pretty much into Rochester. We've had hailstones here at the station, but there could be some rotation there too. South side of Rochester, you need to be taking shelter from this storm just to be safe. And this, let's zoom in tight on this again. This is approaching the Simpson area. This is where we have, all right, there's County Road 16 moving into Simpson. There is County Road 1 that comes south out of Rochester. Many of you are familiar with that trek. If you want to stay off of Highway 63, you're going to take that route into Rochester sometimes. Right along I-90 is where that rotation is being picked up. But this is going to be a few moments old, still maybe even a couple minutes. So in Simpson, anywhere around here, you need to be taking shelter at this moment. This is going to continue to track off to the northeast, east-northeast, and we have, see, also let's keep doing a little bit of hunting on our tower cams too to see what kind of view we might have. This stretch right there.
Oh, wow.
Simpson, rotation with that, making its way into the Simpson area. Anyone right along I-90, you need to be taking shelter. And we are talking about some populated areas of Rochester there, into the Simpson area. Quite a few homes right in this neighborhood. And this is starting to track a little bit off to the north too. So let's zoom out just a little bit on the radar picture and show you what's going on there. Within the tornado warning, Marion, Pleasant Grove, Stewartville, there can be pockets of rotation. Another thing that we could have is some pretty strong downdraft winds on the south side of I-90, not too far from Stewartville. Getting into Pleasant Grove, we could have some spin in the atmosphere there, possible tornadoes. We are now, let's see, we have a report of, oh, that is not from here. So that was from Red Wing. They have some almost baseball-sized hail. Very strong rotation. That is by I-90, just east of, this is what we're talking about. Let's take a look at that image. What we have had, so this is I-90, Highway 63, so this is pretty recent then, isn't it? So that's what we're talking about. So now we do have a tornado. That is getting to the Simpson area, I-90, Highway 63. What we're looking at on the radar picture, I want to show you, again, the radar picture. We're going to go back and forth between these two, okay? That's a little bit old. I-90 and 63, right there. That now is off a little bit farther to the east. Tornado moving right into the Simpson area, a little bit farther to the north. Please move the radar a little bit down so we can get a view of what direction this is going. Okay, that's Highway 63, that funnel report right there.
Apparently on the 511 camera near RST Airport, you can see a tornado right now. So if we can have that pulled up.
Okay. Yeah, it's still just hopping. In this whole area right now, you need to be taking shelter. There is a tornado. Confirm that. We've seen it. Zoom out, please, Aiden, and let's take a look a little bit farther to the north so we can get a track of where this is going. Okay, so just a little bit off to the east of Rochester. There's our rotation right there. This is the Simpson area. This is going to be moving off to the east near Marion. Everyone in Marion, please take shelter at this moment. And then Marion to the north. So we're looking at Chester Woods right there along Highway 14 and all the neighborhoods there, extending all the way to Iota. So from around Chester to Iota in Marion, this is headed your direction. We still have a tornado right there in the Simpson area, and it is tracking that way. Yeah, let's take a look at it. So this is a live look right now. Okay, tornado there. And tell me again where this is. Highway 63 south of 80th Street. Okay, so we're looking off to the east from Highway 63. That's the one that we're talking about. That's in the Simpson area. Confirmed tornado right there. Numerous over the course of the day. There is no way to tell how big these tornadoes are from the views that we have, whether it's an EF0, 1, 2, 3, you can't tell that by looking at them. You can only tell by the damage they've caused. Let's go to Brian's view as well. Brian has this too, from what I understand. Tornado, yeah, he's got a view of that tornado. And where is he located? We're going to get his exact location here for you shortly. He is by I-90. He's looking at that storm that I'm assuming is the one that's close to Simpson. So we have that confirmed at this moment. That's what we're looking at. This is, okay, he is at I-90 and Highway 52. Looking at that one. Let's go back to the radar picture so we can also show you that. But we do have now tornadoes with this storm. Am I in the way of anything there? All right, we're not seeing anything. We're looking straight south of Rochester. Okay, we're not really able to see it there. Zoom into this one. And we are going to have to move very quickly down to that southern storm as well. But we have confirmed tornadoes with this. That's Highway 63, I-90, 52. Right now on 52, tornado potential there. Let's zoom even tighter. Let's get some street level view here. There's Marion. It's coming your direction. So Simpson up to Marion where you need to be taking shelter. A little bit farther to the north too. Let's get that velocity signature showing that near Simpson. This is going to be just a little bit old. But that's where this storm has been going, making its way off to the east and northeast. So we still have County Road 1 right there, moving off to the east. Let's take a look at it. We have confirmed view, Highway 30 and 63. See a little bit of debris right there. There's our tornado. Okay, back to the radar picture. Let's zoom out a little bit on this. Simpson to Marion. And now let's move it back a little bit, please. Let's go back so we can see a little bit farther off to the east. This is where we have hook echo occurring. This is where there's rotation in the storm. Be taking shelter in Marion. Let's get the velocity scope back in this area. Still showing this coming to the west side of Marion. You need to be taking shelter at this moment. Right along Highway 52 to Marion. This is going to continue to track off to the east to Highway 14. It has been showing a motion off to the northeast, so between Iota to about Chester. Heads up there. We do have a tornado. This is making its way off to the east and northeast. This is going to be either right now on Highway 52. It may have crossed Highway 52 by now. Let's take a look at that tornado again. You guys pop that up for me. We are going to have a track on this. It's Iota at 241, Dover 248, Quincy 251. We still have a view live. Notice this is moving right there. We have vehicles on the road. This is on Highway 63 and 80th Street. Confirmed we have a tornado. That is on the south side of Rochester, between Rochester and Stewartville. That signature is very strong, especially near Marion. We are waiting for the very latest scans to come in. It looks like we might have another view right there. Oh, and I'm right in the way. So Brian is on Highway 52, or is he on I-90? He's on I-90 and going which direction? He's going east toward Iota on I-90. We still have a tornado that is on the ground, okay? Let's, yeah, stay with him right there. So this is going to be in the vicinity currently of Marion, and this thing is moving pretty quick. The storm is moving quick, but we do indeed, as you can see, have a tornado. There is a lot for us to cover right now. I want to make sure, let's get to the timing of this. We have a tornado warning until 2:45 for the storm. As the tornado is still, this is going to continue to be extended as we have a tornado, and it looks a little bit larger now than it did before. So this is going to, let's go back to the radar picture so I can get a little bit better location. This thing has shown some strengthening here. All right, this is going to now be near Marion and to the east. You have to be taking shelter. This is, everything is legitimate about this. This is observed. This is not a radar indicated tornado. This is going to be in the Marion area right now. We're seeing that from the road at this time. We're seeing it on the radar picture. This near Simpson, yes, I'm just not buying this. This is a little bit old compared to what we're seeing, especially on the radar picture, as we have just off to the east of Marion now on I-90. And also rotation, let's zoom out a little bit farther. I want to take a look at what we have right here in this area up to around Highway 14. Numerous areas where there could still be rotation within the storm, getting to near Highway 14 down to Marion. And for whatever reason, we're not getting the best view on the velocity signatures right now. But in that Marion area, anyone in this area, just to be safe, make sure you're taking shelter. Confirmed tornado. We're going to take another look at that. Also some rotation directly on the east to northeast side of Rochester. Go back to the reflectivity here. Let's take a look there. Yes. Okay, that is showing the signs too that on the east-northeast side, maybe getting into around the Century Hills area, that there could be something there. Not able to confirm that right now. We still have the tornado, and that tornado warning has now been extended. That has been given a lot of space here. As we take a wider view, please, let's just to see if I can show you what we have. So we've got a bunch of little appendages here within the reflectivity of concern. So around Marion, getting close to around Chester to Chester Woods, Iota area, Viola, and then now the northeast side of Rochester. Just a heads up there, might only be hail, but there is the possibility of some rotation. And do we still have a visual from Brian? Do we have a visual that we're able to go to there? Yes, okay. And his location, heading east toward Iota. And can he give me any ballpark as far as exactly where he's looking at that? Does he have a perspective for that? Okay, so yes, indeed, we still do. It's just off camera. Have another visual on that tornado there, and if you guys have anything that might be on any 511 cameras as well. Let's go to the radar picture. Aiden, I want to make sure we get a full summary here. Let's make sure we get a full summary for everybody right now. Numerous tornado warnings. Let's go down to the south. We are in Mitchell, Floyd, Howard counties. Riceville down to the south to Alta Vista, tornado warning until 3 p.m. This is Chickasaw County, Floyd County, Howard County. Riceville and a little bit down to the south. It looks like by the reflectivity we could have some rotation there. Dragging that off to the east, that's going to be in Saratoga by 2:44 p.m., Cresco at 3:04 p.m. That tornado warning in effect until 3 p.m. Okay, let's move to the next one. It looks like this is now pretty much the warned area. It's out of there, but a little concern for what could be near Leroy. It's not, you're not under a tornado warning right now in Leroy, but this tornado warning is until 2:45. The storm has just moved out of the area. We're not really seeing much rotation there at all. Okay, let's go farther to the north. I want to make sure we get a full summary. Thunderstorms extending now to the Stewartville area. It does look like the cold front has now just basically cleared Highway 63. This area, though, confirmed tornado, and there could also be something happening just to the west of Chatfield. So that Highway 30 area, everywhere from Highway 30 up to the north on I-90 to Highway 14, and possibly even the northeast side of Rochester. This tornado warning in effect till 3:15 now for Olmsted County and southern Wabasha County. That's getting up to near Plainview, around Elgin. Numerous areas of rotation. Do we still have a visual on the tornado with Brian? Okay, we are looking at that currently. That is going to be hard to tell exactly, but it looks like we still have debris right there. So he is on I-90 east going toward Iota. I also think, and I'm going to double check this, but I do believe that I can pinpoint his exact location. Actually, tell him to share his location with me, please. Okay, thank you. Then I'll be able to take a look at that. But yes, tornado. He is on I-90. He's looking to the, so he's heading east. This is to the north. So let's take a look at what's going on. I'm guessing this could be by this time close to Highway 14. Let's go back to the radar picture, please. This area right there, and let's pull a scope on this. Let's take a look and see what we can see. Near Marion, had rotation there. It's going to be a little, all right, let's zoom in on this right here. Let's take a look at that location too, because that is concerning to me, and considering what we've seen. This spot on the northeast side of Rochester, so there's Broadway, possible tornado along and to the north of Viola Road. Along and to the north of Viola Road. Heads up there, you are in that tornado warning, but here is Viola Road, so Century Hills is going to be right down there. In this location, lots of neighborhoods, very strong rotation showing up there. Possible tornado in that location as well. Don't know if we have any confirmation, but yes, they're talking about it in the chat. There could be another tornado in progress in this area. So what have we got here? 55th Avenue Northeast. Yep. So Viola Road to 55th Northeast. In this spot, take shelter immediately. Right now, that's pretty much on 55th Avenue Northeast and Viola Road. So there's Viola Road, continuing off into Viola. Strongest rotation showing up right there. That one could very well be rain-wrapped, but the signature on the velocity is strong, stronger than some of the others that we are looking at this time. Okay, I'm getting views from friends who live not too far from the Gun Club and Chester. And I hope my wife is watching, because that's where we are too. I've got a visual on a funnel cloud right there. Paul, I'm going to text you this photo. This is on the east side, and that is near Chester Woods. Numerous tornado warnings right now. Thank you for your patience, everybody. We are juggling cats right now. This is right along Highway 14. Confirmed tornado there. Probably a couple areas of rotation with that. All right, right along Highway 14. These continue to make their way toward the northeast. That is right in the Chester Woods area. Tornado possible there. Numerous areas of rotation a little bit farther down to the south. A tornado warning that is in effect now for quite a while. Let's go back to Brian. Confirmed, my neighbors said we just had a tornado behind our house, okay? Everybody needs to be taking shelter right now. East side of Rochester. Okay, we don't have a visual at this moment, but I'm going to get Brian's location. So we're looking at tornadoes right now. I'm still not seeing him, unfortunately. Let's get a big picture, Aiden. Let's take a look at what's going on. So we've got Brian on the road. He's on I-90, getting to near Iota, and look at this split. So we've got numerous spots. We've had tornado confirmed in the Chester Woods area now. That continues to move off to the east-northeast. That line is moving very quickly. Tornado warnings. Now this is a lot. This goes all the way to the eastern side of Olmsted County. St. Charles, Dover, Iota, you're in that. Everybody here just needs to be taking shelter. There is so much to keep track of, but we're not able to do that right now. Many areas of rotation. We had some popping up on the northeast side of Rochester. Another area just northwest of Iota has popped up, and that one that's northwest of Iota, that's the one that's in that Chester Woods, Southern Minnesota Gun Club area, right on Highway 14. So this tornado warning is still going for us in a volatile situation, confirmed tornadoes. We've had numerous visuals in numerous locations. Paul, can you show me, pull up that photo that I did just send you? I don't know if you've got that. There is a tornado headed toward the Quick Trip in Iota. Tornado is heading right toward them. That's the one that we had. That's this one. That is the tornado that was near Chester Woods and the township of Chester. That is moving toward Iota. So that is from my friend Rita. That is near 50th Avenue Southeast on the east side of Rochester. Confirmed tornado there. Let's take a look. Let's take a look again. It looks like we have at least 3. Let's go to the radar picture. So there's Iota. This is the one that's coming toward that Quick Trip on the east side. So we got a roundabout there. Velocity was showing that, Aiden. Let's go back to that in just a little bit right now, actually, if we can, to show you that. We've got possible tornadoes there, and there. All right, so we've got the northeast side of Rochester, that's Viola Road. It looks like it's going to stay up to the northwest of Viola. Another one right there, and another one right there. So numerous tornadoes. Aiden, let's go to you.
Yeah, let's let Randy tap out here for a second. You can check on your family too. I want you to be able to do that. So let's just take a brief summary of what we're looking at here. So we, over just the last half hour, we have had multiple confirmed tornadoes from Rockdale to past the airport to down to Stewartville, along I-90 into Iota now. We just saw a report of a potential funnel cloud or even a potential tornado approaching Iota. We also have an area of circulation that I noticed when Randy was looking at either a MnDOT camera or one of our live cameras right now. There is another area of rotation on the northeastern side of Rochester that we've been keeping track of for the last 15 to 20 minutes or so. It's this right here. And actually, as I'm looking it through my periphery vision, it looks like we now have another tornado warning that has been extended into Wabasha County as well, and that is in effect until 3:15. So the timing on that hasn't changed, but this is just a massive tornado warning. I mean, this encompasses most of Wabasha County, moving into Winona County now. This is pretty much all of eastern Olmsted County now, even into northern Fillmore County now. Just multiple tornado warnings just piled on top of each other. And the reason why is because I'm going to pull up velocity here. We have all of these appendages, each and every one of these appendages. I'm going to be looking at this here in a second. I'm going to be talking about that. But all of these appendages are areas of potential circulation. I mean, we are just looking at area upon area upon area where you're either seeing funnel clouds or you are actually seeing tornadoes. So everybody in essentially the entire county of Wabasha, all of eastern Olmsted County, and if you are watching in western Winona County, you need to be taking shelter now. And this tornado warning is in effect until 3:15, and we are just seeing a conglomeration of multiple areas of rotation. I want to zoom in on this one particular area of rotation that really got my attention just a second ago. This is a very strong couplet right now. In fact, this is probably the strongest one we've seen yet. Moving into far northeastern Olmsted County, getting ready to cross into Wabasha County now, just west of Elgin, just south of Potsdam. This is an area of strong rotation. I want to check in on the National Weather Service to see if they're talking about anything right now. It doesn't look like it, so I'm just going to keep drifting here on what we're looking at on radar. We have a very tight circulation just south of Potsdam approaching, moving just west of Elgin right now. It's going to be approaching 247 right now in just a matter of a couple of minutes. All right, let's take a look at what we have going on elsewhere. I want to make sure we're covering everybody. There is just a lot going on. We have another area of rotation just south of Viola. It looks like, although that doesn't look as strong as it did a few minutes ago, just west of Iota, southwest of Iota, there could be some rotation there, although that isn't looking as impressive as it did just a couple of minutes ago. We're going to zoom down to the street level here in Iota. We're going to get rid of the velocity. So along Highway 14 for the most part, coming up on Minnesota Highway 42 and into Iota here, 42 Highway Southeast. In this area, the entire town of Iota, you need to be taking shelter immediately if you haven't already, because there could easily be a tornado in this vicinity. Again, velocity doesn't show anything too tight right now, but we have seen time and time again already today that these tornadoes can tighten up very quickly and drop very quickly as well. I think I'm seeing, okay, I just saw they're just combining all the tornado warnings now. They're making it a little less messy for us, which is good. We now have a tornado warning for Olmsted, Wabasha, Winona until 3:30. So Lake City, Marion, Plainview, St. Charles, everywhere in between there needs to be taking shelter immediately. And for the next 45 minutes, you are under a tornado warning. Just have this very big glob of very intense rainfall, even some hail here, but I want to pull up velocity one more time, focusing on Chatfield. Doesn't look like you have any circulation in the immediate vicinity, but that could change very quickly. Now we want to go south. I want to go south also to cover a new tornado warning that has been issued for portions of, it looks like portions of northern Howard County, including Saratoga, Lime Springs, and Cresco. This is in effect. I just want to make sure I have the right tornado warning highlighted here. We have so many going on. Either let's say 3:15 until 3:15 for Fillmore, far southern Fillmore County into Howard County. You now have a tornado warning until 3:15. This includes the cities of Bristol, Cresco, Lime Springs, Vernon Springs. I'm going to pull up velocity here. It does look like we have a decent couplet just west of Saratoga right now on Iowa State Highway 9, generally moving northwest, or now northeast rather, excuse me. And that is going to be in effect again until 3:15. There is a decent signature there as well. We're going to bounce back north to Rochester. I want to look at that rotation just to the southeast of Potsdam. Let's take a look at this real quick here. There still is a decent signature of rotation. We're looking at, I want to zoom in here to see if there's any other marks that I can really call out just west of Elgin.
Let's stay with that one. That's pretty intense right now.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be looking at that.
Yeah, straight west of Elgin. This is going to be a bit more intense than what we've seen before. We've got more gate to gate right there, meaning we've got that really tight velocity signature. So that storm now, this is looking like a more intense tornado getting just into Wabasha County now. Yeah. Potsdam, just a little bit dust right across the border from Olmsted County into Wabasha County, and that's making its way off to the northeast. So let's zoom out just a little bit. This is going to be heading into around Highway 247, making its way to the east-northeast. This one is intense right there. By the way, all these other ones that we've seen, and let's just keep going down the line. I did touch base with my wife. She's great. We have debris all over our neighborhood, though. That's over by Chester Woods, over to Iota. So she said there's insulation falling from the sky. It looks like there has been a fire. Now, Viola, because of what's falling from the sky, by the way, but near Viola, another one right there, and another one. Let's go a little bit farther down to the south. So this is going to be right by, let's zoom in, we've got it there. So that is getting to, let's see, I just want to make sure we're correct. Yeah, Iota. Numerous, so tornadoes confirmed from Iota to Viola up to the Elgin area. Right now, they're on the ground. So we have tornadoes, and they are going to continue to move off to the northeast. Anywhere in this area, you need to be taking shelter. Probably want to make sure, those in the booth too, that we're just getting some idea. There's going to be damage. If we have insulation falling in my neighborhood, that means that more than likely buildings and homes were hit. In Iota now, a tornado that has just made its way over the Quick Trip on the west side of town, more than likely that western side of Iota, and now to the north, tornado there. That is strengthening a little bit. Go a little bit farther to the north. We've got yet another one in the Viola area, just off to the east of Viola. That's off to the east of Highway 42. That's moving to the northeast. And then this one that's near Elgin. That one even showing up strong. This one, so Quincy, right there. Quincy Bridges, Whitewater, Middle Branch there. This is going to be moving just off into Wabasha County, but between Viola and Quincy. This is a strong one. That is as well near Iota, and another one that is up just to the west of Elgin. 3 tornadoes right now between Wabasha County and Olmsted County. Zoom out a little bit more. Let's see what else we've got. I think that there might be some more activity farther down to the south. We cannot miss a thing here. Let's take a look. What's going on? No, let's go back up to around the Chatfield area. Sorry, Aiden. I just want to make sure that we get this too. So between Chatfield and Orion, we could have something there in this tornado warning as well. Just to the east, northeast of Highway 52, possible tornado in this location. Let's go a little bit farther to the north and track this. So across this whole warned area near Chatfield and to the north. And this one is going to be making its way into the St. Charles area, potentially Dover if it takes more of a northerly track. Another tornado right there in Iota. So yes, this whole stretch right now has gone bonkers, and a potential tornado as well. We've got another warning in the northern side of Fillmore County from Chatfield to Fillmore. So all of you along this line need to be taking shelter at this very moment. I'm getting so many texts and photos from neighbors, friends around town, all right, and a visual on the one that was just in my neighborhood. That's a pretty decent sized, pretty big tornado, okay? And that's what we're looking at along this whole line, from Elgin all the way down to near Chatfield. All of this is producing tornadoes right now. Rochester, you're in the clear, all right? Rochester, you're in the clear. Stewartville, you're in the clear. This is one large storm, and all of this is spinning right now through Wabasha County to the northeast, and all of these pendants that we're looking at right there are producing tornadoes from Chatfield to Iota to Viola to Elgin, and a little bit farther to the north of that too. All of those producing tornadoes at this time. Take shelter along this stretch. Let's go farther down to the south. I want to make sure we're not missing anything there. This storm that is in Howard County, here's Cresco. You need to be taking shelter all over Howard County, especially right there along 63. Leroy, down to, let's get a little bit tighter. Let's make sure we can get any place names that we can on here. I just want to make sure Lime Springs, it's coming toward you. So Saratoga, Lime Springs, and especially right now in Saratoga. All right, take shelter there. And this rotation, more than likely, that tornado, let's just plan on it at this point, even if we don't have a photo. This is showing up the same as the rest, and those are on the ground. Saratoga up to Lime Springs. Please take shelter at this very moment. I don't know if that's my microphone or not, but we still need to keep going. Let's go a little bit farther down to the south. At this time, we don't have tornado warnings in Charles City. We are now in the clear in Floyd County and in Mitchell County. We are not in Howard County. Chickasaw and Howard County, we have tornado warnings until 3:30. Now, if you are under a tornado warning, without exception today, you need to be taking shelter. We have had numerous spin-ups along this whole line. Let's scan a little bit farther to the north. All right, we got a photo here. What do we have a photo of? Oh, we don't have a photo there. We have a graphic there. Taking shelter. Where you want to be taking shelter, put as many walls between you and the outdoors as you possibly can. If you do not have a basement, get in the center of your home. A room that doesn't have any windows, the basement is the best place to be. Let's get back to some radar pictures here because we still have what looks to be a tornado north of Elgin.
Tornadoes to your west of Plainview, another southeast of Plainview.
Okay. And zoom in on that one. We've got two. We currently have two tornadoes that are basically in Quincy Township. Two of them. Right now, there we go. Right now from Quincy, just to the southwest, and another one just to its north. This is absolutely wild. This is the tornado that we had near Viola, now making its way into the far northeastern corner of Quincy Township. My friend, Willis and Irene, you need to be taking shelter in your basement right now on the northeast side of Olmsted County, right where we're going into Wabasha County. All of you there, please take shelter right now, all throughout the northeast corner of Olmsted County and Quincy Township, and then getting into southern Wabasha County. We have a tornado that's just off to the north of Elgin now, to the west of Plainview, potential more right now in Quincy, and this one right there, a little bit farther down to the south now. We also have a tornado that has made its way out of the Eota area, so let's go a little bit farther down to the south and show you that one. In Dover, be taking shelter at this moment. I do believe that we have rotation right off to the west-southwest of Dover with that portion of the storm. Okay, we're getting a new microphone on Aiden there, and okay. Olmsted County, eastern side of it, Dover, take shelter, please. This is the one right along Highway 14 is where we most likely have a tornado. We're going to get back to just scanning the radar picture for you here in just a moment. There's a whole lot happening right now. That tornado warning now is extending into Winona County, and all of these spots, numerous areas of rotation. Getting so many photos right now of the tornadoes that we have had across Dodge County, Olmsted County, now into Wabasha County. One that's a little bit more intense there, south of Plainview, near Viola, near Quincy, moving off to the northeast. Other areas of rotation. Let's take a look at what's going on near Dover. See if we can get a tighter look there. St. Charles, some rotation with that one too. Okay, that one, right Dover. And we're not seeing as much right now on velocity as we were before. We have tornado warnings that are still in effect in northeast Iowa, in Howard County, and that one is in effect until 3 p.m. But Olmsted County at this time, quite a hail core making its way between Dover and St. Charles. This is moving to the east, and a tornado warning in effect until 3:30. So I'm sorry, you were saying, was Booth talking to me? Okay, let's just zoom out. Let's do a full summary now again, please, Aiden. I want to show everyone what's going on. Wabasha County, this is our cold front now. Behind this line, you're in the clear. Austin, Albert Lee, Mason City, Charles City, Rochester, Dodge Center, Cass and Manorville are good. It's the eastern side. We're looking at Dover, St. Charles, up to Plainview. This is where storms currently firing up tornadoes. That stretches down to the Riceville, Stacyville area, soon to be into Cresco, and a little bit farther down to the south. This is about to clear the ABC6 viewing area within about the next 20 minutes, if not a little bit earlier. But this line has been extremely and unfortunately productive for tornadoes all around southeast Minnesota. Now from Wabasha County to eastern Olmsted County, tornado warnings continue. So we'll start at the top, taking a look at Goodhue County to Wabasha County. And I want to make sure I'm not missing any information from the National Weather Service. We're talking, okay.
Sort of tornado down, heading towards Lime Springs and Howard County.
Yeah, tornado heading toward Lime Springs right now. Why don't we start with that one? Take a look at what's going on. Lime Springs, this storm has intensified too. My goodness. All right, this tornado is coming toward Lime Springs. Please take shelter right now if you haven't already. Highway 63, Lime Springs to Davis Corners. Be in your safe place, in your shelter. This is the tornado, more than likely right there, just to the west of Highway 63, moving your direction. That tornado warning in effect until 3 p.m. The timing on that, based on this image, 3:04 in Lime Springs, but you need to be taking shelter right now. There could be a little bit of a delay in the radar data that we're looking at as this storm is, or as that tornado confirmed. We are getting that from Howard County Emergency Management. Howard County Emergency Management has confirmed there is a tornado and it is moving toward Lime Springs. Anywhere in this location, west of Highway 63 to Lime Springs and anyone east of there as well. Please take shelter right now. Get inside your basement, Get as many walls between you and the outdoors as you possibly can. 3:04 p.m. in Lime Springs. That is an estimate. It could be there sooner, and that is just minutes away. This storm is a monster right now. You see the size of it right there. We've got more than likely some hail in Howard County to southern Fillmore County. Let's go a little bit farther to the north to show you what's going on there. Let's stay in Fillmore County, taking a look at that. So this is mainly from around Chester, just off to the, still to the east of Leroy, getting into Bristol, Granger, a little bit farther to the north. And just want to make sure I'm out of the way. Cresco, Lime Springs, all in the path of this. Notice we've got a couple different polygons here, potential of a couple of different tornadoes. We've got one that's off to the west of Lime Springs, maybe another one south of Lime Springs. This tornado right now, right about there, headed toward Lime Springs, but you are also in an area of danger, getting up to Highway 44 in southern Fillmore County from the Chester area to south of Preston. Let's slowly go a little bit farther to the north. I want to make sure we're not missing anyone. And just a heads up, Leroy, Ostrander area and to the east of Highway 63, I wouldn't be surprised if something were developed in that area, just the kind of dynamics we have seen over the course of today. Everything has been producing up to Forestville. You're on the heavier side of that storm. You do not seem to have a tornado threat at this very moment. Now let's slowly go a little bit farther to the north as we get to Highway 16. Now north of Fountain, we still have a tornado warning in effect from Chatfield down to the north side of Fountain, just north of Fountain on 52, moving to the Pilot Mound area. So this is getting close to Trout Run. It looks like the area of highest danger, though, has moved out of this tornado warning. I'm not seeing anything. Are you, Aiden? Are you seeing anything?
No, there's no circulation. I think it's mostly for the reflectivity that's mostly now in Winona County and far eastern Olmsted.
Okay.
It's lifted north.
Let's go a little bit farther to the north now. Now we're getting into an area of higher concern. There's Saratoga. Did they just move the tornado warning a little bit farther to the east? I can't tell.
It does look like it, yes.
They did, just may have just relocated that. So a new tornado warning out for Winona County. But that location right there in Winona County in Saratoga. Let's go back, let's see, a little bit farther down to the south. And in St. Charles, you need to be taking shelter at this very moment too. There is some rotation showing up in the Saratoga area. So we got Saratoga and then Troy right there. Saratoga just a little bit off to the west. You want to make sure that you're taking shelter too, as there's some rotation showing up. Not as strong as it was showing up before. Now going a little farther to the north, we have had repeated rounds, numerous tornadoes in that area from Iota to Dover, now into St. Charles. The threat has now passed in Quincy, although I'm a little concerned about that little pendant that's right there on the Wabasha County line, but this is a big cell in Winona County at this very moment, and these two spots right there. Let's get the velocity scope on that. I know that we've got some people who are watching right in the spot. It looks like we have 3 tornadoes. This is going to be very close to Whitewater Wildlife Management Area to Whitewater State Park. There's Whitewater State Park. The WMA is right there, right on that line, Wabasha, Winona, Olmsted County. 3 tornadoes, one on the northeastern side of Olmsted County and one that is just south of Plainview. All right, and these are all moving to the east to northeast. That is a tornado that is more than likely going to be moving into Whitewater State Park. It does look like it's cleared, but now just to the far southeastern corner of Wabasha County, moving into western Winona County. So Wabasha, Winona, this area, everybody needs to be taking shelter at this moment. Let's zoom in tighter on that once again. I think we might have an updated velocity picture coming in from there, and another one that's going to be just north of Plainview, moving to the northeast. Numerous tornadoes. Still looks like we might have 3. We did just get an updated velocity picture there, but that far northeastern corner of Olmsted County, more than likely a tornado. That is an area where I just so happen to spend an incredible amount of time in the fall and in the spring. I hope, my friends out there, that you're all taking shelter. There's just right where the middle branch of the Whitewater is coming into Whitewater State Park there. 1, 2, so 1, 2, 3 tornadoes in that area. That one that's southeast of Plainview. All of this is moving off to the northeast, and we have a little bit more signature too, just a little farther to the north, as I understand it, Aiden. I know you circled a spot there.
Yep.
We very well could, yeah, and that's quite a pendant that's on the reflectivity picture. So that is in Wabasha County, not too far from Highland. We have this tornado warning. They might be letting that go pretty soon in Olmsted County, but all this is moving very quickly to the east. Just a heads up, everyone in Elba, Whitewater State Park area, still the eastern side. Let's take a look at this thing, north of St. Charles. So we're not getting too far from around County Road 9 there, but getting north of St. Charles, and then let's get the velocity scope on that. It looks like by the radar picture that there could be, but we're just not seeing much, are we? You see
Not
anything
right
that
now,
sticks out there?
But not right now, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean it won't be the case in 2 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at it. Highway 42, is this live? Okay, this is Brian, Highway 42, and we do have a tornado. Okay, we did have one. It was right there, but that's some good news if it's roping out. I know that in their final stages, they show up a lot brighter. The one thing that I am very concerned about right now is that northwestern corner of Winona County, and he's not getting too far from that. So he was on this, he was on 42, probably not getting too far from Plainview and looking into this area. Right, that's my assumption right now. Still the possibility of a tornado, but the velocity is a little bit weaker. I am very concerned about the Whitewater State Park and the Whitewater Wildlife Management Area. This area, still a lot of farms, a lot of people living in this area from Quincy Township up to the northeast. A lot of people around there, all right? So now it's a little broader as far as the rotation. I think we still might have a couple of tornadoes, a little bit smaller there, but also this rotation, just this large scope that we're seeing in that area around Whitewater State Park. So heads up, Elba to Whitewater. If you're not taking shelter now, you need to be. These storms have now basically moved out of Olmsted County. Let's take the biggest picture view that we can right now. So many tornadoes reported from Dodge County into the Rochester area, the south side of the city. There were tornadoes that we've confirmed east of there. Let's go to take a look at our live tornado, though, that we have in southern Fillmore County and northern Howard County. This line still extending right there, and this tornado warning in effect until 3:15. This is near Lime Springs. Let's put a velocity scope on that near Lime Springs, because that was our #1 area of concern, all right? And that tornado now appears to be just north of Lime Springs. I don't know if we have any recent reports from our friends at the National Weather Service. There was hail reported in Altura. I'm taking a look there just to see if we have anything additional. Okay. Not seeing any brand new reports though, but these are storms that are moving in, with the potential of getting towards some significant tornadoes. Lime Springs right there, and then let's zoom a little bit farther down to the south. So that storm right there, and take that off. So yes, near Lime Springs, this is the tornado warning for that area. Cresco, you are in the tornado warning. There might even be sirens going off. The most dangerous portion of the storm is near Lime Springs and now moving in to southern Fillmore County. So let's get a track on that. Let's move this, shift it down a little bit so that we're centering on this and that we're able to get a track on that going through Fillmore County, getting close to around the Preston and the Harmony area, all right? So Lime Springs right there. Let's track that out. Moving off to the northeast, that's the area of rotation. And the timing of that, Harmony 323, Canton 329, Mabel at 341, Rushford 353, assuming that this thing is still holding together. This storm right now, just to the northeast of Lime Springs, that is the rotation within the storm, and it continues to move off to the northeast. Now downstream, it's still very loud. You're getting very heavy rain, hail within this storm, maybe even just to the west of the Preston area. We're not getting any reports of tornadoes at this time, but we did earlier just west of Lime Springs. And considering what we've seen so far today, this thing is holding together still. So moving into Fillmore County, let's zoom in tighter and take a look at some of the place names here that we need to get to. So zooming in, getting to Highway 44, to Bristol, Granger, but Bristol especially, and then near Greenleafton, okay? This is the more dangerous portion of the storm, and now this is just coming out of North Iowa, right around Lime Springs, moving to the northeast. And friends in the booth, do we have anything that you can show me? Is there any video that we have? Okay, not at this very moment, but we've got people in the field right now. We also need to make sure that we've got people out taking a look and see what sort of damage has occurred and make sure that everybody is okay around the area. But this rotation right now in southern Fillmore County is showing up the strongest, moving toward Highway 44, State Highway 44 to Bristol, Greenleafton, seeing a little bit of that hook right now, in southern Fillmore County. This is making its way off to the east-northeast and will eventually be into the Harmony area if this thing holds together. And so far, the majority of these have. Okay, so let's zoom out just a little bit more. And the tornado warning that's been issued, let's bring it out just a little bit farther here. Okay, there's that tornado warning. Hopefully soon we'll get an updated polygon on that one. Let's go a little bit farther down to the south. Howard County, now the threat, Chickasaw County. That's just a little bit outside of our viewing area. We don't have anyone seeing us in New Hampton. However, southern Howard County, rotation possible just down to the southeast of Alma. That warning is in effect for us until, let's zoom a little bit farther down to the south so it adjusts the time right there.
Yeah,
okay, that one is until 3:30 for Chickasaw and Howard counties, Alta Vista, North Washington, Protivin, that area where there are numerous spots within that storm where we could be seeing some rotation at this time. We have in St. Charles, it looks like a little farther to the north, the potential of some very strong winds. But that spot, Aiden, in southern Fillmore County, I don't know about you, but from what I'm seeing here on the velocity, that's the most concerning right now.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. That's where we're seeing the tightest bit of rotation right now. You can see that dramatic transition from grays to light blues. That means that there is a tight, strong rotation that at this point, I would assume is touching the ground. We need to assume it's touching the ground. And it is going to be approaching Minnesota Highway 44 here within the next probably 10 to 15 minutes. So if you know anybody who might be happening to drive down that road, give them a call, tell them to turn around. If you know anybody or if you're watching in Bristol, that's going to be the area that likely sees this rotation pass right overhead. We just have a new velocity scan in now. Looks a little bit weaker, but there still definitely is rotation right about here. And this is tracking generally northeast, so towards Bristol, just north of Granger. Eventually, maybe Harmony if it's able to hold together that long. But this is, as of right now, I want to check on some of the cells back north.
Yep.
Especially towards Lewiston right now, just to see what we're looking at up there too.
Yeah, interesting signature too. I'm hoping that becomes a little detached, but let's see what that's all about too.
Yeah, it's hard to say if that's, that looks like it might be just some noise showing up on radar, not actual rotation. But the storms across Wabasha County are getting ready to cross the Mississippi. We're actually seeing that warning extend into Wisconsin now, so that is outside of our viewing area, but you're still seeing those appendages there. So if you know anybody closer to Wabasha, Buffalo City, they need to be taking shelter as well, because again, those little appendages are still going, and they might not look like much, but they have a history of producing tornadoes at this point. We have a new tornado warning for most of southeastern Fillmore County. It looks like until 3:45 now. That includes, what's up?
One thing I am noticing, though, in that Winona County storm, that if you want to check out the correlation coefficient, it has dropped out quite a bit in that spot where we were seeing that little, that bit of noise. So if we take a look at that, we could be looking at, and now signs of it too. So right along Highway 14, south of Utica, or no, I-90 south of Utica. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a tornado with that. This spot right here. That's what we were seeing just a little bit ago. Utica, Lewiston, tornado likely right there. Probably some debris that the radar is picking up. I know this is a lot of mess. It looks like gibberish to you, but where we see that drop out means that we're not seeing the things in the atmosphere correlating with each other. So signs of debris, dirt combined with maybe shingles or tree branches and the insulation from buildings. So in this spot, there's at least the sign right there, especially just along I-90 and to the north between I-90 and Highway 14, south of Utica, that we could have a tornado at that location.
Yeah, most definitely.
Go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting you right now. There's just so much that's happening.
No, you are all good, Randy. I want to zoom back south here to.
It's a good idea. Yeah.
Check on southern Fillmore County right now. This is an interesting look too. All right. Looks like right now. Let's look at different type of velocity here a little bit better. It looks like it really doesn't look like, this scan doesn't seem right to me, but it doesn't look like there is much rotation there as of right now. I'm going to, we're gonna shift here to a different velocity signature because it isn't quite matching up with what we were looking at just a minute ago here. Let's see here. Bear with us. Okay. Okay. So let's take a look at this tornado warning now that has been extended into eastern and southeastern Fillmore County. This is in effect until 3:45. Harmony, Preston, Rushford Village, you need to be taking shelter immediately and anticipating being in that shelter for the next 33 minutes. We also have an area of rotation to watch heading towards Winona. They need to be on guard just in case we see that materialize further. I'm going to zoom north to that right now. Could be an area of rotation there as well. If I had to guess, it's right around here, just south of Lewiston. Tracking just south of Lewiston, just north of Fremont, going to be tracking northeast. We're going to need to watch that as well. If anybody happens to be watching us in that direction, or anybody knows anybody in that general area, they need to be taking shelter immediately under the assumption that this cell could hold together. And to be honest, it probably will. These cells are doing a very good job at holding together, holding their own, which is not something we want to see, but we have been seeing it during the entirety of this event. I'm going to go back to radar here so we can get a better look at what, just kind of a wide view of what's going on, and then zooming in closer into I want to actually zoom in right now to just south of Preston, where it doesn't look like we have as much of a prevalent hook echo as we did before, so that is good news. However, even just the smallest appendages with some of the cells today are producing tornadoes, so that is definitely something that we need to be concerned about still. Looking at velocity, I'm not really seeing right now as strong as of a signature. Bristol, maybe a little bit of rotation over your heads, but it doesn't look as prominent as it was 15 minutes ago. So that is good news. However, everybody in southeastern Fillmore County, I want you to be taking shelter, whether you're in Bristol, Greenleaf, and Harmony. Just south of Preston, this tornado warning is in effect as well. I'm trying to see, it looks like portions of downtown Preston. In south downtown Preston, you are under that tornado warning as well. So you need to be taking shelter immediately. We're going to go look a little bit further to the east. Amherst, Canton, you are under that tornado warning as well. Choice is under that tornado warning just south of Lanesboro. Actually, it looks like including most of Lanesboro, you are under that tornado warning as well until 3:45. So I want everybody there to be taking shelter. Rushford, you are on the far northeastern edge of this warning, but you are in it until 3:45. You need to be taking shelter right now under the assumption that there is a tornado on the ground. Let's take a look at velocity one more time. Again, I'm not seeing as much of tight rotation, but there still is definitely some broad rotation right now still taking place. And sometimes what happens with these thunderstorms is they go through what's called cycling, where they temporarily lose their tight rotation. They sort of broaden out a bit, and they kind of, it's almost like they recollect themselves just a little bit. They sort of reset, and then we can sometimes see that rotation signature come back just as strong as before. So we're going to be watching for that with this cell in southern Fillmore County. Zooming back north,
looking big right now.
This one's definitely looking like a big deal heading towards Lewiston, Stockton, Winona. We're going to look at velocity first, and then I'm going to look at what's called correlation coefficient, which basically detects if there's debris. It looks like there's some, some rotation there along Highway 14, just north of I-90 as well. Looks like there's another bit of rotation southwest of Norton right now. Let's take a look at correlation coefficient, which is basically detecting what's being lofted in the atmosphere, or what's in the atmosphere. These purples and these reds are raindrops that the radar's picking up, but once you start seeing these blues, especially like right here in Lewiston, that is an indication that that's an indication that we are potentially seeing debris, that there are bigger objects being lofted into the atmosphere that it is picking up on. Especially when you see a fallout surrounded by red like this, that's an indication that there definitely could be some debris being lofted. So that is right along Highway 14, just passing over Lewiston. We have a new scan right now. So if you are in Lewiston, please, I hope you are taking shelter. You need to be taking shelter near Stockton. Honestly, anybody driving along US Highway 14, this is basically going to be following US Highway 14 eventually to the northwest of Winona. A good view as well. You're going to be looking at the potential of seeing this storm pass over your heads. Let's take a look at
which, by the way,
radar right now.
On the velocity too, I'm sorry to interrupt, in Lewiston, we've got a couple spots there in that Winona County storm. If we do go to velocity, you see that we've got that signature in near Lewiston, and another one just to the north too, where we could have a little something. It just also, if we go back to reflectivity along with it, then there are a couple of spots that show up where I think we might have multiple tornadoes currently with that Winona, in that area of Winona County. So if we go to level 2 and show you what's going on in that spot, right about Lewiston, and then another one a bit farther north, I think that we've seen right along kind of the flanking line of the supercell. So here's the supercell. Look at how much precipitation spreading over Rolling Stone to the Great Mississippi River Road, the Scenic River Road, Lewiston just to the northeast of Bethany, not too far from Altura. And this is where we could have a couple right now. So getting up to Altura, then Rolling Stone, the potential of some larger hail at this time. But to go with exactly what you were saying, Aiden, it was showing up on the correlation coefficient, that falling out in the Lewiston area, and then a little bit farther to the north. It looked to me on the velocity that there could be a couple, and I wouldn't even be surprised. It looks like that flanking line is extending a little bit farther down, gosh, to the southwest of Lewiston as well, but I'm just not seeing really anything on the velocity scan that would indicate that we've got any issues on that.
At least not yet, yeah. We'll be definitely keeping a close eye on that. Let's just see what Southern Fillmore County is doing. I also want to just check up on Northern Iowa too. Want to make sure we're covering you guys as well.
Just to interject, the Marion neighborhood is being shut down for anyone who does not live there. Okay, just wanted to share that. We just got a heads up from the tornado that we were tracking as it was going right through Marion up to the Chester Woods area. That neighborhood has been shut down for anyone who doesn't live there. Okay, sorry to interrupt you. Let's go back to that warning in northeast Iowa.
So this warning in northeast Iowa and southeast Howard County. So it looks like you are on the northern edge of this cell. It looks like the cell that they're warning is more so down in Chickasaw County right now. I don't believe we have any viewers down there, but we do have some viewers who are under a tornado warning in southeastern Howard County right now. If you live anywhere in this polygon, you should still be taking shelter. It does look like the brunt of the cell is going to stay in Chickasaw County, or it's going to just graze far southeastern Howard County, but I still want you taking shelter just in case.
Yeah, we might have some people streaming down there in Chickasaw County, and as you can see, heading toward about the Riley settlement as it shows on the photo there on the radar scene at this time. But yeah, it's not in Howard County anymore for the primary concern, just getting some heavy rain in the southern portion of the county. I think right now the biggest game that we've got is what's going on in Winona County. And just if anyone's watching anywhere near Rolling Stone, I know that we're a little harder to get in Winona County, but that storm now is just east of Altura, north of Lewiston, and nearing Rolling Stone, but that's where we've got some rotation showing up within that storm too. For the most part, this is soon to be pretty much done for the majority of us. So we are nearing the end of this, but this is my number one concern is central Winona County now, making its way off to the east. That might stay south of Rolling Stone. It might, but you still need to be taking shelter in Rolling Stone right now.
Odds are it's probably going to track like this.
Yeah, you've got a photo of that, Paul? Okay, let's take a look at that. All right. And you know what? We're actually going to, Robin's got some thoughts and notes for us too. Let's go to Robin, and she's going to talk us through some of the damage that we're seeing.
Yeah, thank you so much. You just mentioned that the Marion Road area near Butternut Street has been shut down, and this is why. This is video that's sent to us from one of the viewers, one of the viewers who lives in that neighborhood. Now, they are talking that everything is shut down. This was taken immediately after the tornado went right through the neighborhood. They said they went checking door to door, and everyone in that area is okay and accounted for. They said pretty much every home has suffered damage, and I believe we saw at the very front of this video that home completely wiped out by the tornado. So that's what they're looking at right now. Randy, you mentioned that the roads are shut off. They're closing off this neighborhood. We have a crew on the scene. They just got there about 10, 15, 20 minutes ago and said that they were not allowed in. So that's the video we caught just before the roads were shut down in that area.
Robin, thank you. Terrible to see the kind of damage that we have seen around the area as these tornadoes have done quite a bit. Southern side of Olmsted County, we still have tornadoes making their way through Winona County, and now they are picking up some steam, moving off to the eastern side very quickly. Winona County, you're not in the clear yet. But this strongest portion of the storm, most rotation right around Rolling Stone. Let's get back to Fillmore County. I want to show you what's going on down there, and I'm hoping that we have some good news for Fillmore County soon. That storm is looking a little bit weaker on reflectivity, but it is from Lanesboro and Preston. It's on top of you right now, the storm is, but from the velocity scope at this time, we do not have signs of significant rotation occurring in Fillmore County. Let's go back to the reflectivity on that too, and just to show what that view is looking like now. And that's stretching now back to around Caramona, Preston, Lanesboro. So right along the Root River from Preston to Lanesboro to Wayland. Okay, why don't we go ahead and do that? So just a heads up, you are under a tornado warning until 3:45 for 20 more minutes. I do think that if they're going to keep this going, they're going to have to redraw the polygon to kind of get the area that they're most concerned about. But where you have rain coming down from near Forestville State Park to Preston to Wayland, that's an area of concern for us in Fillmore County. Lesser signs of rotation now. But let's go to Caroline Weir, who was live now near this house that was hit by a tornado.
Yeah, Randy, while the weather itself has calmed down, it is very prevalent that a tornado went directly through this area. As you can see over here, we have a home that has been almost completely destroyed, as you were speaking of. All of these trees that just crashed down, and then on this side we have those power lines that have fallen down, and the trees have taken them with them. And then when you look over here at the Marion Road and Walnut Street, as you had mentioned, this is completely blocked off. I spoke to the sheriff's department, and they said that only people who own homes in this area are allowed to enter. Otherwise, everybody else is being asked to leave. We got the fire department, ambulance service. Right now, it seems that everybody is safe. I do see people outside of their homes. That one, especially right over there, we see a few people who came out of that home that was especially hit hard. But it seems at the moment that everybody right now is safe and things are dying down. We have some of these emergency vehicles that are leaving at the moment. Back to you, Randy.
All right, thank you so much, Caroline. That area is right along Highway 52 up to just to the north side of Highway 52, just north of Marion, and all around there is where we were. We did have a tornado go through, so doing a lot of damage just in that area, getting into the southern side of parts of Rochester, southeastern Rochester, and still now this storm over Winona County, extending down to Lewiston and Fremont, but this spot down to Fremont, Lewiston, not as potent as it was before. And I'm just going to pull up some velocity data here to take a look at, but there could still be, actually, it looks like we might have a little something northeast of Lewiston. Yeah, there's some rotation showing up there. And no update from Fillmore County right now, unfortunately. Now, let's go take a look down there. It still has a tornado warning in effect. Tornado warning's in effect for a while, but that storm is showing some signs of decreasing in intensity.
It's starting to flatten out.
Lanesboro, Preston, so it's no longer does it have that the supercellular characteristics that it did just not too long ago, between around 15 minutes to a half hour ago. And now let's take a look in northeast Iowa as to what's going on there. My goodness, I'm still just getting so many photos of the tornadoes that were coming through before. It has been a
Yeah,
wild
we are
day.
getting so many news tips. It is sort of insane.
Okay, so this is Howard County, and it's making its way on out, Chickasaw County. This is moving on out. So we're about 15 minutes from an all clear in Howard County. Let's put the velocity scope on this one, though, just to make sure that tornado warning is only in effect for about the next 3 minutes. We're not seeing anything right there with the danger of any a tornado at the moment. Just be safe, though. In Protivin, you need to be taking shelter. All right, let's go back to reflectivity and go a little bit farther to the north. I think area-wide, we are about 15 minutes from being in the all clear. And then from there, it's a matter of seeing who was hit, what kind of damage was done, and then moving on from there. Preston area is still a strong storm. That has moved out of the southwestern side of this tornado warning. That may be left to expire, but at last I checked, that one was until 3:45.
Yes, I do believe so, yeah.
I think they've got their hands full at the National Weather Service right now, especially with this storm a little farther to the north. But the threat moving out of the polygon, this tornado warning that's in Fillmore County, going to keep watching that as it moves a little bit farther to the northeast. That storm's starting to really pick up some steam in Winona County, so let's take a look at that. A little farther up to the northeast. That one.
The National Weather Service is noting tightening rotation with this cell.
Okay, and that is actually, yeah, the tightening rotation is now across the river.
Okay.
So we're seeing that just off into Wisconsin now, not too far from Fountain City. Still that trailing line right now, but not seeing the signs of much rotation there. I think that we are really close to being able to transition out of our weather coverage and going to the news coverage of what we have going on now across our viewing area. So let's just get us kind of a synopsis of what's going on. Radar picture wide view. Let's get it from there. We'll go take a look at the tornado watch that's in effect. This is going to be where our cold front is located, and we'll also show you that in a little bit as well. So just a little bit of a spoiler. Our cold front making its way through. There are still, this is such an outrageous day with all of these tornado warnings along the front, and then look at all the activity that we have over into Wisconsin. Right now, this is all being handled by our friends at the National Weather Service in La Crosse. So they are handling all these warnings that are a little bit farther over to our northeast. They are handling all of these warnings in northeast Iowa and southeast Minnesota. Their plate is more than full, as has been yours too over the course of today as these storms have been making their way on through. Still some tornado warnings in effect now in Howard and Chickasaw County, but the threat moving out of there, it does look like they have let that tornado warning expire.
Yes.
Yes,
they
Fillmore
have.
County, they have canceled that. And now the most dangerous portion of the storm that was in Winona County has moved into Wisconsin. So we're done.
Yep.
We're wrapping this up. We're going to be talking a lot more about it, of course, but we are going to do a quick synopsis now. We're going to start seeing some of the counties eventually scaled back. This is not the highest priority item for the National Weather Service right now, but the tornado watch still in effect in northeast Iowa, but you are not going to be seeing that activity in Mason City, in Austin, or in Rochester, or no longer in Preston or Charles City or in Cresco. These storms are moving off to the east. Let's show you what's going on with the radar in motion now. This line, this is our cold front. The thunderstorm's moving along, and ahead of it right now, they are moving out of the ABC6 area. Now the temperatures, let's take a look at that too.
Yep.
What is spawning this? So what we have is a powerful cold front coming through, and the temperatures are going to be dropping. So that's in the process of loading right now, but take a look at this. It has dropped to 40 degrees in Owatonna, 41 in Albert Lea, 30s out to the west of us, and temperatures have even dropped in Preston, still 75 in Winona, according to the last read, but that was a half hour ago. I think that temperature has changed as well. So as the colder air has come in, that has ended our severe weather threat. We are done with covering tornadoes for you today. Now we are going to go from the actual tornadoes occurring now to what has happened over the course of today, and I'm going to turn it over to Robin Wolfram at the desk.
All right, Randy, thank you so much. Good job. We so appreciate it. And we so appreciate and hope that everyone at home who is watching right now is safe and sound and everyone is accounted for. We have been getting in some amazing, spectacular video. And this shot was incredible. This was outside of Sargent, Minnesota, and it was taken by Orion Hardwick. You can see the tornado coming through. You can see that bolt of lightning. It was insane. And again, if you have video or photos, please send those to us. Now, this is the same tornado that we just saw pulled over took some video, and you can see it as he zooms in, how the dust is just stirring up in the bottom. And Randy calls it roping when it comes up, down from the sky and weaves around like you're seeing there. Anything in that path, as you can see, that's debris. Now, this is the video we just showed you. This is all the homes that have been damaged, and one home completely destroyed, which is right off Marion Road at Butternut Street. I've been in contact with Forrest and Catherine, who live there. They said they went door to door. Everyone is okay, but as you can see, most of the homes have been damaged, and the one completely damaged there. Now, here's another video that came in, or I should say a photo that had come in. And everyone, this is amazing, because these are tornadoes that are coming in from all our viewing area. And take a look at this spectacular photo. These are the two tornadoes that Randy was touching on just when we went into our warnings that were happening at the same time, captured on one tape. Amazing. Again, that's the one off Orion. We do have so many more pictures. In fact, the folks, boy, look at that dust just stirring up. I mean, that's intense, the way they zoom in there. That is incredible. I mean, if you've ever wanted to see what a tornado looks like up close, there you go. There's another one that looks like it's roping. Just, long, thin, still causing damage. Randy will probably speak to that a little bit later on when, when you're looking at something like that, how do you know the intensity? I mean, look, now it just almost seemed like it just dissipated in thin air, but yet that tail is still coming down. So when Randy says, take shelter immediately, that's exactly what you do. And it's because of situations like this. In fact, we were outside covering for you folks earlier today when the sirens were going off, and immediately we were told, get inside, because it's right above you. And so, yeah, just not a second to spare. Now, the folks in Marion Road, I was fortunate enough to be able to speak to the woman, as I said, Catherine, and she said that everyone there is safe, but her husband was able to capture the video of the tornado as it was coming through the neighborhood. It's spectacular video. We're working on getting that uploaded right now. And so as soon as we have that, we will share that with you. In the meantime, keep it right here. If anything else happens, in the meantime, Randy is going to be standing by. Aiden is going to be standing by, and we will certainly keep you all safe and let you know what's going on. Randy, back to you. Randy is standing by.
I do want to wrap things up.
Yes, Randy wants to wrap
things up.
There you go, Randy.
All right, thank you. My final message.